The Walnut Creek Crawdads have experienced the highest of highs and the lowest of lows this summer. There have been walk-offs, miraculous artistry in the field, record-setting performances on the mound and in the batter's box. However, the elation has also been met with disappointment and inconsistency in the first half of July, and a stretch that saw the Crawdads, who are at one point the hottest team in the CCL, lose 12 of 14. But all of that is ancient history and means nothing here tonight in Lincoln, California. Only a handful of games remain in the 2022 CCL regular season. 3 for the Crawdads, 3 for the Potters, and it begins tonight. The two sides are deadlocked in second place in the CCL North Division standings table. Tonight's winner will be alone in second. The loser will drop to third and farther away from playoff contention, and those playoffs in San Luis Obispo, California. This evening's fixture, the Walnut Creek Crawdads versus the Lincoln Potters from Lincoln, is coming up next. Welcome in, everyone, to the DVB Insurance broadcast booth on the road tonight in Lincoln, California. The Crawdads are riding a 3-game winning streak into game number 44 of their season, with victories this past week against Sonoma, Healdsburg, and Solano. The Dads are tied for second with Lincoln coming into tonight's game. This is the 8th and final game between these two teams this season. The Potters hold the season series lead as it stands now, 4-3. There's going to be a flyover tonight here at McBean Stadium in Lincoln, California. The starting lineups being announced for the Potters right now. They're getting ready to get on the field for the national anthem, so we should have a flyover from the Air Force boys as they are going to get ready to grace us with their presence. Going to get some jet fighters flying over the park here, and it's time for the national anthem.
To the skies for our flyover from the United States Air Force, Matthew Thomas is laying out of Peale Air Force Base.
The national anthem in the books. The fireworks went off. Supposed to be a flyover, but no sight of the Jets yet. Can't hear them coming in either. Looks like the players are going to take their positions. So the Crawdads and Potters ready for a very important tilt tonight. The Crawdads come in 23-20 overall, 16-15 in CCL North play. The Potters 32-20. They've played a lot of ball games. This is their 53rd contest of the 2022 season. As the Jets come rolling in, and they were roaring. You could hear that boom throughout the stadium. What a great moment here in Lincoln, California. They always do it big. Fireworks to begin the game. You get the Air Force flying over. Just a great atmosphere here at McBean Stadium. As I mentioned, the Potters 32-20. They are 16-18 in CCL North play. So both teams with 16 wins. Check that. I apologize. 16-15 in CCL North play. So both teams with 16 wins and 15 losses. They're deadlocked in second place. They are tied neck and neck. The winner tonight will be alone in second place. The starting lineups tonight for both teams. We'll start with the visiting Crawdads as they'll be up to bat first. Ryan Ellis, the third baseman, batting leadoff. Then Tyson Corio, who's been just so good offensively and finally catching up defensively with his performances. I mean, the offense was really lacking at times, but he has elevated his game and hitting close to 300 now. He's batting second, and he's over at second base. Ryan Brome, the left fielder, is batting third. Batting cleanup is Coleman Schmidt. He's in center. The designated hitter, Kavares Tears, batting fifth. Brian DeRoth at first, batting sixth, so a little bit lower in the order for Brian. Cameron Calvillo, who is a stud of a shortstop, is batting seventh. The catcher tonight, Andrew McKenna, that was per special request of the starting pitcher, Hollis Fanning. He's batting eighth. And Jack Ben-Shoshan batting ninth. Hollis Fanning is the starter tonight for the Crawdads. And they're going to be facing Nate Dugan. So the righty Dugan ready on the mound. Looks like we're ready for first pitch here at McBean Stadium. Going to be a hot one here. And Ellis in the box. The first pitch to Ellis, that just misses low. And the first pitch of today's ball game is one that does not find the zone. .94 degrees here. Two pitches in, both have missed. So Ellis ahead against Dugan. Nick Dugan going to be at Stanford. And he finds the zone there. The count 2 balls and a strike. He comes in 3-1 with a 1.74 ERA. His 7th appearance and 5th start. 20 2/3 innings pitched. 26 strikeouts, 9 walks, 17 hits given up. And Ellis looking for hit number 1 there tonight for the Crawdads. But it's hit right over to the first baseman, J.T. Walden, who makes the play. Was able to scoop on to the covering pitcher. So that's one away. Good play by Walden. Good job. And Ellis is retired. Ellis 0 for 1. Going into that at-bat, he was hitting .346, 4 home runs, 23 RBIs. And they kept a speed threat off the bags as well. He does have 20 steals. Here's Tyson Corio. First pitch to Corio. Misses. Count 1-0. Corio hitting .283, 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. He's done a good job of making pitchers work. Dugan delivers. This is hit high into right field. And coming in now is the right fielder, Brennan Roselle. The defense for the home team Potters, it's Shields behind the plate, J.T. Walden at first, Chase Weisenborn at second, Trey Furry at third, Zach Chamizo at short, McCarthy in left, Crenshaw in center, and Brendan Roselle, who just made that catch, over in right. There's 2 away. Pitch here to Ryan Brome. Misses. So 3 straight hitters now have all been started off with a ball. Count 1-0 to Brome. Second pitch to Brome, and big cut, but fouled away. Count even at 1-1. Brome hitting .368, just the 2 home runs, but he does have 35 driven in. He's in left field tonight. Coleman Schmidt on deck. 1-1 pitch to Brome, and there's a breaking ball. That just misses in. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. Just getting started here in the top of the first. Dugan kicks and deals, and this is hit right back up the box. Dugan stuck his left hand out there with the glove on it to try to spear that ball, but Ryan Brome is now 1 for 1 with a 2-out base knock. Good piece of hitting there from the lefty, Ryan Brome. Well, Brome has just been so consistent all season. That had some good velocity off the bat. They do have TrackMan in the stadium here at Big Bean Stadium. Just a great addition to one of these CCL parks. That was 93 off the bat, so you know Brome hit it hard. Here's Schmidt. First pitch to Schmidt, a big bender that misses high. The count 1-0. Coleman Schmidt hitting .327, 10 home runs, 37 driven in. Does strike out a lot, though, does Coleman Schmidt. 14 walks to 42 strikeouts. Brome with a small lead off of first, and the pitch here, that's a fastball on the outside black for strike number 1. The count 1-1 with 2 away. Crawdads want to score first. Last time the Crawdads were here a week ago, they were not able to clinch a victory. And in the last 3 games they've played against Lincoln, they've been outscored 21-11. 1-1 pitch to Schmidt, and he goes after a pitch that was hanging high, but got under it and flips it foul. The count 1-2. Coleman Schmidt has put together quite the summer for manager Brant Cummings and the Crawdads. Had clutch hits. Crawdads on a 3-game winning streak, and one of the reasons is because of him. He had a walk-off and the first win of that winning streak. The 1-2 pitch to Schmidt, and this misses away. The count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pretty good crowd here tonight at McBean Stadium. It is Star Wars night. So there were fireworks on the field during the national anthem, then the flyover, and then there's going to be some fireworks after the game as well. Brome with a pedestrian lead off of first, being held on by Walden. The pitch, and Schmidt fights it off. Count stays 2-2. The Crawdads have gotten great production out of the bottom half of their order, and that's been really good for Walnut Creek because Coleman Schmidt has been a little inconsistent lately. In Healdsburg, he was 0 for 5 a couple of days ago. Did walk a couple of times yesterday, however. That's what you're going to get with Schmidt sometimes, the high strikeouts, but then some very good production if he makes contact. The 2-2, and Schmidt swings, comes up empty. And that is the 3rd out. So after the top of the first, it is still 0-0. Crawdads do get in the hit column. Ryan Brome with a nice single right back up the middle, but he's stranded over at first. Bottom half of the first inning when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network.
And guys, if you happen to pick up the Crawdads at the stadium, $5.
Bottom of the first, Crawdads unable to score in the top half of the inning. They were able to get Ryan Brome on, but he was stranded over at first base, so it is still scoreless. Nothing here. Hollis Fanning, the starter tonight for the Crawdads. He's going to face Zach Chamizo, the shortstop, who's leading off. Then Chase Weisenborn, the second baseman, batting second. The first baseman, J.T. Walden, batting third. Garrett Crenshaw, the center fielder, batting cleanup. Trey Furry at third, batting fifth. Nolan McCarthy, the left fielder, batting sixth. Troy Shields, the catcher, batting seventh. Brennan Roselle in right, he's batting eighth. And rounding out the lineup for the Potters, who are at home tonight in Lincoln, is Jared Breedwell, and he's a designated hitter. Fanning going to look to exercise some demons tonight here in Lincoln. Last start here was not a great one for Hollis. That was a week ago when the Crawdads were in the midst of a 5-game losing streak. On the season, Hollis is 1-3. Fanning has a 3.76 ERA. This is his 9th game that he's appeared in, his 6th start, and he's been better as a starter. 40 2/3 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts, just 4 walks, and 44 hits given up. Oh, here is Chamizo, and the first pitch to Chamizo, and Fanning fires in a cutter on the outside black. So one of the keys tonight for Fanning is he's going to have to go to the cutter early and often. It's not something he had a week ago on July 23rd here in Lincoln, the 0-1 pitch, and able to put another pitch right by Chamizo, who looked like he misgauged the velocity there. Fanning took a little bit off. Chamizo hitting .337 with 12 RBIs, the 0-2 pitch, and this is chopped foul up into the netting. The count 0-2. Bottom of the first, Crawdads weren't able to crack the scoreboard in the top half of the inning, and Fanning looking to get some revenge against Lincoln. The 0-2 pitch, this misses outside. McKenna set up outside, wanted the ball there. A good waste pitch from Hollis. Fanning on the 23rd against the Potters. That was a 9-4 loss for the Crawdads. He pitched 4 innings, the 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Sit him down, Hollis Fanning, exactly how he wanted to start his evening. Chamizo strikes out for the 10th time this season. And there's one away. But on that July 23rd game where Hollis Fanning threw 4 innings, he gave up 7 runs, 5 of them earned, but more importantly, 10 hits. Oh, here is Chase Weisenborn. First pitch to the righty Weisenborn in their first strike, and it looks like the cutter is there tonight for Fanning. Fanning has to pound the zone early. He is a strike thrower. 0-1 pitch, and same exact spot, carbon copy of the previous hurl. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Weisenborn. Weisenborn hitting .239 with a couple of home runs, and he swings and misses. So back-to-back punch-outs to start the evening for Hollis Fanning. One of the keys for him as well is to stay confident in the cutter and to mix it inside and outside. And Fanning looks very cutter-heavy so far. Haven't seen really too much of any conventional fastballs except for the one he missed away. That may have been on purpose, though. Here's J.T. Walden, the first baseman, and this misses low. McKenna, the catcher tonight for the Crawdads. That was Hollis Fanning's request. He wanted McKenna to catch him. On the defense for the Crawdads, McKenna catching, Duroff at first, Corio at second, Ellis at third, Calvillo the shortstop. This pitch framed perfectly by McKenna on the outside edge, and Hollis is really on it tonight. Count 1-1 to Walden. Walden hitting .355, 5 home runs, 26 driven in. The 1-1 pitch. Walden hits this on the ground, and it's over to the first baseman, Duroff, who just runs the bag himself. Round number 3 in the outfield. They haven't seen any action yet for the Crawdads. It's Brome in left, Schmidt in center, and Jack Ben-Shoshan in right. But Hollis Fanning able to mow down the first 3 hitters he faces this evening, and it's still 0-0. Top of the second inning. Quick game so far, although it is very early here in Lincoln, California on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network. Top of the second here in Lincoln, California. 0-0 the score. Crawdads going to send up 5, 6, and 7. Kavares Tears, Brian DeRoff, and Cameron Calvillo. We'll see what the big bat of the designated hitter, Kavares Tears, can do out of the lefty stance. Kavares hitting .248, 4 home runs, 24 RBIs. But really, it's been the tale of two halves of the season for Tears. Kind of got off to a hot start, then had a pretty rough end of June and early July, and now in the back half of July, he's really come alive. Been having some great at-bats. Dugan has his sign, and the pitch swung on and missed by Tears. That would have been a strike all the way, so not a bad pitch for Tears to go after. Crawdads trying to stay hot tonight. The 0-1 to Tears, and he whiffs again. And Tears in a 2-strike hole. Dugan wants to work quickly. Tears took a step out of the box and forced Dugan to pause. Now the 2-strike pitch, and that just misses. Tears maybe get benefit of the doubt there on that. Looked like a strike from here, but Tears will stay alive. The count, a ball and 2 strikes. Crawdads got a lot of help last night from Sonoma. The 1-2 pitch, this bounces up to the catcher Shields. Troy Shields, the catcher tonight. He played last night as well for Lincoln. Lincoln dropped the game. They were beaten 8-1 by Sonoma in Sonoma. The 2-2 bounces, and the count runs full. So from 0-2, Kavares Tears is going to see a payoff pitch, the full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter here, the designated hitter, Kavares Tears. Payoff pitch to Tears, here it is, and he's able to tap this foul. Yesterday, Tears had a hit in his first at-bat. Later came around to score and then had a double in the second in his second at-bat. Oh, he is seeing it well. And we know how strong he is. Payoff pitch once again to Tears. Tears takes high, and he draws a walk. That is something that we have been seeing out of Tears lately, and that is a very good sign. That is Tears' 12th walk of the summer. And he had 2 of them back on Thursday in Healdsburg. Oh, here's Brian DeRoff with a runner on, nobody out. Game still scoreless. But we know Brian DeRoff can change that. He just collected his 3rd home run against the Prune Packers, and it was a 3-run homer that landed on someone's roof. Pitch to DeRoff. This misses. Count 1-0. DeRoff hitting .298 with those 3 home runs, 25 RBIs. And he's been pretty selective as well. Tears does have speed off of first, but he only has 5 stolen bases. He has a small lead. Second pitch to DeRoff. That's in there for a strike. The count 1-1. Crowd still filing in here at McBean Stadium. There's a few Crawdads fans in attendance as well. 1-1 pitch. They'll be situated down the third baseline, and there was a curveball that found the zone, and the count 1-2. But Tears was able to get on, even though he had 2 strikes on him. Brian DeRoff going to try to do the same. On deck Cameron Calvillo, who's really come onto the scene for the Crawdads. 1-2 pitch, and Droff gets into a hanging curveball and slices it down into left field. Just a big whack there by Droff. He saw a hanger and he went right after it. Hard hit ball. And Droff at first. Tears now at second. The Crawdads with 2 hits tonight. And it's the top of the second. Still no score, but base runners, those definitely help. Oh, here comes Cameron Calvillo hitting .278. Has a couple of RBIs, but he's been great defensively at short. First pitch to Calvillo, he liked it, went right after it, but fouled it over the grandstands. The count 0-1. Tears in scoring position at second. Crawdads playing in their charcoal tops with the gray pants. Lincoln have some special Star Wars themed jerseys tonight. 0-1 pitch, and this a big rip, but fouled. The count 0-2. So they have the Star Wars jerseys with their classic white pants and the orange socks. Nearly said Star Wars themed. That wouldn't have been right. Calvillo down 0-2. Trying to keep the line moving here with nobody out in the top of the second, and the Crawdads with a couple of runners. 0-2 pitch to Calvillo. Calvillo takes, and a good eye displayed there by Cameron. That was a breaking ball that started in and dipped outside to the righty Calvillo. Mentioned it was a hot day here. It's going to be a hot evening here as well. But no wind. That's always a good sign. The 1-2 pitch, and this gets away from the backstop Shields, and both runners will advance a bag. A wild pitch there from Dugan, making Calvillo's job easier. Now he just needs to make contact with the ball, and a ground ball here with the artificial turf. We've talked about that at length at times on our visits over the past 2 seasons up in Lincoln. A ground ball here can find its way through. Oh, the 2-2 to Calvillo, and he gets into this. Not a ground ball. Hits this deep into dead center. Running back is Crenshaw at the track, and he has it. But that's going to score Kavares Tears from third. Brian Droff will advance from second to third himself. It is 1-0 Crawdads. They have an early lead. Sacrifice fly for Cameron Calvillo, his 3rd RBI of the season. Calvillo, such a welcome addition to this ball club, was added 8 days ago. That was at the deadline Friday. And here's the catcher, Andrew McKenna. So it is 1-0 Crawdads here in Lincoln. And McKenna hits this into the right center gap. That's going to drop. And Droff is going to jog home. It is quickly 2-0 Crawdads in the top of the second inning. This is what the Crawdads needed tonight. Lincoln has really had their numbers over the last 3 contests the 2 teams have played, and Lincoln has 4 victories in the 7 games these teams had played against each other coming into this matchup. An RBI for McKenna, who coming into that at-bat was batting .217, and with that run driven in, he's now at a nice even 10 for the season. Another late addition for the Crawdads who has made a big difference for this ball club. And manager Brent Cummings seems to be pulling all the right strings down here, down the stretch. So here is Jack Ben Shoshan. He's batting 9th, hitting .247, a home run, 9 RBIs. McKenna off of first. It is 2-0 Crawdads. The first pitch to Ben Show. He swings at one low, comes up empty. The count 0-1. Already a pretty fast pace here in Lincoln. Dugan getting the ball and firing it, but the Crawdads, I think they like this pace. They're able to put some balls in play. The 0-1 pitch to Ben Show, and there's a curveball that looked like it was going to stay high, and at the last moment just dipped about thigh high there. And the count 0-2 to Jack Ben Shoshan. McKenna over at first. Pitch to Ben Show. This misses low and outside. The count 1-2. A wild pitch hurting Dugan. Getting both of the first two runners up to third and second for the Crawdads. That helped. Tiers and Duroff have both scored, and this pitch nearly gets through the wickets of Shields, but he's able to smother it. The count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Ryan Ellis. He was the first man to bat tonight. And here the cowbells going. Otters faithful trying to get a strike here, and they do. Benshaw, no dice on the swing. Had a pitch up high. And that's out number 2. Over Jack Benshaw, that is the 21st strikeout of the season. And the lineup card turns over. Here's Ryan Ellis, the third baseman this evening. Ellis a lefty, Dugan a righty. See what Ellis has. The first pitch to Ellis, and he flares this into left field. Making a run on it is McCarthy, and that landed just fair and bounced over there near the line, and that's going to be a double for Ellis. Well, I had to kind of peer out here and do a mean lean like our good friend Jeff, who is the photographer for the Crawdads. Got to see him yesterday, but had to figure out whether that ball was fair or not. Good on Ellis to continue running. McCarthy couldn't track it down in left field. Now Ellis is at second. McKenna moves up to third. And Ellis now 1 for 2. Oh, here's Tyson Corio, who's 0 for 1. Flew out in his first at-bat. First pitch misses low and in. The count 1-0. For a team that roster-wise is pretty thin right now, the Crawdads, they're showing a lot of fight tonight. Also know that the pitching staff is pretty depleted for Lincoln. Only about 10 arms right now. And Corio takes this back up the middle. A third run will score for the Crawdads. Tyson Corio with a hit and some trouble fielding it out there, and it is 2 runs for the Crawdads. So it should have just been an RBI single, scores 2 runs. Both McKenna and Ellis come home to score. And all of a sudden, the Crawdads with a 4-0 lead here in Lincoln against Nick Dugan. It is still early. Corio over at first. He has just been on fire. That was his 22nd and 23rd runs driven in. And batting lefty today is the switch hitting Corio. Now, Austin and myself have both mentioned how much better he looks lefty. Still wondering to see what he would look like in the batter's box against a lefty arm batting lefty. But he just seems to find ways to put the bat on the ball. Drives 2 more in there. And some trouble out in center field for Crenshaw to kind of pick that ball up, and Ellis took advantage. Didn't stop at third, came all the way home. So it is 4-0 Crawdads with 2 away here in the top of the second. All 4 runs being scored in this half inning. Here's Ryan Brome, who's 1 for 1. Corio going to take off for second. There's a hit and run there, but the pitch fouled away. Count 0-1. Well, if you're just joining us, it's 4-0 Crawdads. And there's a lot of fans here in Lincoln, California who are just joining us on Star Wars night. Expect to see close to full capacity here at McBean Stadium. Holds right around 2,500. The 0-1 pitch, and Brome swings and misses. The count 0-2. 2-strike hitting, though, hasn't been an issue for the Crawdads tonight. Done a good job against Dugan. And the pitch, Corio running once again, but it's a strikeout of Ryan Brome. But the Crawdads get 4 runs in the top of the second. Some very clutch hitting from both Andrew McKenna and Tyson Corio. And a good job by Kavares Tiers, the DH, to lead things off with a walk in the top of the second. So after 1.5, it is 4-0 Crawdads. Bottom of the second coming up here on the Crawdads streaming network.
incredible. Somewhere side, I know Piper is pumped up. I think Piper would have had a lifesaver.
Bottom of the second inning, the Crawdads lead 4-0 here in Lincoln against the Potters. Hollis Fanning had to take quite the break during the top half of the second. Gonna have to get warmed up again. But he was just excellent in his first frame of work, striking out the first two batters and then a ground ball over to first, and Duroff was able to handle it easily. There was a race on the field during the break, and Andrew McKenna stuck his catcher's mitt out as they were rounding the bases, and a young Potters fan, say about 4 or 5 years old, looked at him, thought about the high five, and then just ran right by him. He's all Potters through and through, probably saying Potter up on the way back to the stands. So McKenna trying to be a class act, a kind gentleman, trying to be a good example for the youngsters, but these Potters fans, they are Lincoln all the way. So Hollis Fanning got through the first inning, 1, 2, 3. He's going to face 4, 5, and 6. It's going to be Garrett Crenshaw, Trey Furry, and Nolan McCarthy. Crenshaw hitting .227, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. And he is in the box. The lefty Crenshaw ready to see a pitch from Fanning. There it is, and Fanning pounding the zone. A fastball there. He was very cutter heavy in the first, which is a good sign from Hollis, and the 0-1. This misses just a bit low. Was looking for that same spot, I think. The changeup. And the count 1-1. 1-1 pitch, and there's the curve that misses outside to the lefty Crenshaw. Count 2-1. Crawdads off to a hot start tonight. 2-1 pitch, and that is swung on and missed. There was that fastball. Count 2-2. Oh, in the first inning, Fanning was touching 95 with the cutter and the fastball. 2-2 pitch, and this is fouled back into the stanchion. That supports the netting. Made a loud ding. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crenshaw had some trouble with a single up the middle last half inning. That was off the bat of Tyson Corio. 2 runs ended up coming in, and this is hit on the ground, first base side. Duroff has it, takes it to the bag himself. For round number 1, so 1 away. JT Walden and Crenshaw, the last 2 batters for the Potters. Hitting it over to Duroff, and he's able to do the rest. And here's Trey Furry, one of the best players for the Potters. Had a little bit of an injury bug earlier in the season, had some back issues, but he is healthy now. He's at third tonight. The first pitch to Furry, and that on the outer half for strike 1. Furry hitting .285, 3 homers, 34 RBIs. If he gets on the bases, he's a threat to steal. He's got 10. The 0-1 pitch to Furry, and this is spiked. The count 1-1. I think one of the great things about Fanning so far, he hasn't shown all his weapons. 1-1 pitch, and there he just showed the breaking ball. That's that curve, and that's the pitch that I was alluding to that he hadn't really displayed yet. Furry got a pretty good look at one that looked like it hung up in the zone, but it was fouled away. The count 1-2. But Fanning has the cutter tonight. See what he goes with here. McKenna sets up outside, and he hits it. Great spot for the pitch there from Fanning. May have actually missed a little bit over the plate, but it froze Furry. And that is the 3rd strikeout so far for Hollis Fanning on the mound. A week ago, he struck out 5, but he didn't get the results he wanted as he got touched up a bit. Got tagged with 5 earned runs, 7 total on his watch. And here's McCarthy. McCarthy swings at a curveball that was in the turf, and the count 0-1. McCarthy in left, hitting .296, 6 big flies. 2 RBI shy of 30 on the season as he takes another big rip, but can't connect, and the count 0-2. Fanning just looks like he is in control this evening. Kicks the leg and fires and just misses in. So the righty McCarthy was looking to spot a perfect curveball there, was Hollis. So far, Fanning, 16 strikes, just 5 balls. 1-2 pitch, and he misses away. Crawdads were helped out by Sonoma last night. They're looking to help themselves this evening here in Lincoln. The 2-2 pitch, and this is chopped high, but foul. That ball was hit maybe about 15 feet down the first base line outside of the left-handed batter's box, right into the ground. And it's so hard on that infield turf, it bounced all the way past the first base bag over Brian Duroff's head in foul territory. Those are kind of the zany things that can happen here at McBean Stadium. So the count 2-2. Fanning looking for another out, and a big high chopper over to third. Ellis has it, fires over to first. It cannot be dug out by Duroff. That ball took a skip on the turf. That's going to be an error on Ryan Ellis. It is so tough for the first baseman here to field the ball if it does take a bounce. Ellis, I think, had a little more time on that throw than he thought. He had to wait for it to come down. He just fired immediately across the diamond, really tried to whip one over to first. But McCarthy wasn't really booking it. I think McCarthy thought it was an out all the way. Instead, he's on first base now. So an E5, McCarthy over at first. Here's Troy Shields, the catcher, hitting just 122. It does have a home run. First pitch to Shields, misses away. The count 1-0. So still hitless are the Potters, but they do have a base runner. Pitch, swung on it, missed. There's that good cutter from Fanning. Started right on the outside black and just tucked away from the righty Shields. Shields could fall victim to a strikeout here against Fanning, who is so good. Pickoff move over to first. Ball and a strike, but Shields has struck out 23 times this season as opposed to just 10 walks. Fanning set the 1-1 and blows a fastball high, about shoulder high, right by Shields. Ball and 2 strikes. Crawdads lead 4-0. There's 2 away. McCarthy over on first. He got there on an Ellis error. Pitch, and holding it just momentarily there was McKenna, but he knew was outside. Did not get the call. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shields. Fanning trying to get out of the inning. There it is, swing and a miss, and he got him. Hollis Fanning already now with 4 strikeouts in this start. It is still 4-0. Top of the third. Coming up after the break here on the Crawdads streaming network. top three. 4-0 Crawdads against the Lincoln Potters here in Lincoln, California. It's 4, 5, and 6 for the Crawdads. Coleman Schmidt, Tavares Tears, and Brian Duroff. Schmidt 0 for 1 with a strikeout. But he is always a threat when he's in the box, and a curveball there misses low, and the count 1-0. I think Dugan's had a pretty good bender so far today. Hasn't necessarily gotten the results he's wanted out of it. Up at 44 pitches now. Pitch number 45 misses everything, hits the backstop, and the count 2-0. "26 strikes to 19 balls for Dugan, who came in with a stellar ERA, 1.74. Although he's been tattooed by the Crawdads early. 2-0 pitch, and this misses. Count 3-0. The Crawdads 1-2 in Lincoln at McBean Stadium coming into this ball game. But they've been really good lately. Been putting up a lot of runs. 3-0 pitch. This misses outside, and that's a walk for Coleman Schmidt. Oh, Schmidt walks for just the 15th time this season. But now there's a real problem out there for Dugan to deal with over at first. First base coach tonight for the Crawdads is Ryan Lovato. John Jensen at his usual spot over at third. Lovato might send Schmidt. Schmidt does have 16 stolen bases. And here's Tavares Tears. Still doesn't have an at-bat. He walked in his first AB in the or his first plate appearance, I should say, in the second. Came around to score. Pitch to Tears, misses high. The count 1-0. But over the past 3 games, the winning streak for the Crawdads, the lowest number of runs they have scored was 8. That came in that 8-2 victory against Healdsburg in Healdsburg. The 1-0 pitch. Schmidt going to take off, looking for stolen base number 17. A decent throw from Shields, and Schmidt is gunned down. Great throw from Shields there, who showed some good pop time and fired a nice strike over to second. Tag was applied by the shortstop Chamizo, and Schmidt is caught. Oh, there's 1 out. Base runner eliminated for the Dads. But Tears up, 2-0. Pitch to Tears, this misses high and away. Count 3-0. Crawdads have had some great pitching performance lately as well. Performances out of Gabe Tanner out of the bullpen. Jack Ben Shoshan, who is now forever enshrined, or at least for a while, in Crawdads lore. He is the record holder for the most strikeouts in a game, and he did it out of the pen. He had 11 strikeouts. Fleming also a really good appearance yesterday. And that's a 4-pitch walk of Tavares Tears. Tears is not the wild man he was earlier in the season. He is not going to give in. He is not going to swing at junk anymore. And that is just a great development out of the young man from Tennessee. So Tears now at first. The Crawdads lead 4-0. There's 1 down here in the top of the third. And here's Brian Duroff, who's 1 for 1. First pitch to Duroff is a hanging curveball that he lines down the left field line. That stayed fair. Tears over at third. He's going to round third. It's going to be a double for Duroff. The throw is not going to be in time. And Tears scores. It is now 5-0, an RBI double for Brian Duroff. I'm not sure how Brian Duroff was able to keep that ball fair, but he did, just by inches. And the Crawdads jumping out now with a 5-run lead on the road. When the Dads get hot, I mean, they will just annihilate the baseball. They will get what seems to be every break that they can. Balls will stay fair that weeks before maybe were going foul. Duroff now off of second. And a pitch here to Calvillo in their first strike to count 0-1. Just 1 away here in the top of the third. It's already 5-0 Crawdads. Tavares Tears did a great job of immediately recognizing that that ball was fair, and he had home on his mind all day. This is hammered into left field. That bounces down. It's going to kick up against the wall, and that's going to be an RBI double for Cameron Calvillo. Brian DeRoff crosses home plate. It's 6-0 Crawdads. Oh, what looked like it was going to be a massive tilt tonight between two teams that just want second place so bad by themselves. They're tied in second right now, but Lincoln would have the tie break if this game were never played and the season had ended. They do have the head-to-head, but the Crawdads really flexing their muscles here early. Calvillo off of second. Pitch misses high. A couple of back-to-back RBI doubles for the Crawdads has them in business. Pitch here misses. McKenna is 1 for 1. And he's ahead 2-0. A lot of pitches already for Nick Duggan. He's not even through 3. He's up at 56. Cool pitch and close shave there for McKenna, who has to lean out of the way. Boy, some head movement. Count 3-0. And this inning looked like it wasn't going to start off the Crawdads' way with Coleman Schmidt, who walked and tried to steal second. He was taken care of by the catcher Shields, who made a great throw over to second, and Shimizu applied the tag. The Crawdads resilient. That didn't bother them. The 3-0 pitch, and this is hit into right field. That should be another RBI here as Calvillo charging home. The throw is just a bit late. It is 7-0 Walnut Creek, and they lead the Lincoln Potters in Lincoln. A hit parade for the Crawdads already. That is 7 runs now for the Dads. And it's still the top of the third. The train keeps on rolling. McKenna is now 2 for 2 with a pair of RBIs. Might run out of ink in the pen. So much black in the book already with all these scores. There's a short conference taking place on the mound right now. Nick Duggan is 2 pitches away from 60. His location has not been there for him. And right now, Lincoln is in a 7-0 hole at home. Crawdads with 7 runs so far, 8 hits. They have committed an error. Lincoln, no errors, but also no hits and no runs. They have had a base runner, however. That was on the lone error committed by the Crawdads, and now this meeting on the mound is going to be broken up by one of the umpiring crew. Time to get back down to business. Here comes the number 9 hitter, Jack Ben Shoshan, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but each man who's come to the plate this half inning for the Crawdads has reached base. The only out was Coleman Schmidt, caught stealing, trying to get second. He really wanted his 17th stolen base of the summer, wasn't able to get it. But 4 in the top of the second, now 3 in the top of the third for the Crawdads. And this is exactly the start they needed, probably more than what they had hoped for, as this is a screamer hit over near the dugout of Walnut Creek down the third base line. The count 0-1. Lincoln really was turning into a house of horrors for the Crawdads to come up to. 0-1 pitch. This misses. The count a ball and a strike with 1 away. Had that big blowout game that they lost on July the 4th. The last trip up here a week ago, Hollis Fanning was shellacked. But it's been the polar opposite so far tonight. The 1-1 pitch to Ben Show, and off the end of the bat, he's able to tuck that fair down the right field line. That's going to be extra bases for Jack Ben Shoshan. He's up at second. He's going to move through second, and a run's going to score for the Crawdads. Jack Ben Shoshan with an RBI triple. McKenna scores all the way from first. It is now 8-0 Dads. Oh, the rich keep on getting richer here in Lincoln. And Dugan is reeling out there on the mound. He has been tagged for 8 runs now. Jack Ben-Shoshan now 1 for 2. That was RBI number 10 for Ben-Sho. That's a nice number for him. He's already got the record for most strikeouts for a pitcher in an appearance for the Crawdads in franchise history. This ball is laced, but into the bullpen of the Potters, and looks like there's going to be some stirring in the Potters bullpen now, not just to field that ball, but they might have to get someone's arm loose here with the way Dugan has been pitching. Oh, the count 0-1 to Ryan Ellis, who's 1 for 2. He had a double in his last at-bat. Bounced down in the first. 0-1 pitch comes in. And the count 1-1. 8-0 Crawdads. Not even through the 3rd inning yet. They have been putting up crooked numbers at will over this 3-game winning streak, trying to extend that to 4 tonight. 1-1 pitch, and getting into this was Ellis, but pulling it foul. And that'll land past the beer garden out there down the right field line. The count 1-2. So it is Star Wars night. The fans are going to stay for the fireworks show, but a lot of big bangs happening right now on the field with the Crawdads bats. One-two to Ellis with Ben-Sho off of third. And this misses, so the count even for the Crawdads' third baseman. I don't know if the Crawdads have started a game better this season. If young Mr. Austin Oda was here with me, he would have the exact date if they did. And a swing and a miss there from Ellis. Oh, he is retired. And that is just out number 2. Jack Ben-Shoshan still in scoring position in an 8-0 ball game that the Crawdads lead. He's over at third. And the bat is handed to Tyson Corio, who's 1 for 2. Had a 2 RBI single in the second. Crawdads bats looking good tonight so far. Corio ahead, 1-0. I think manager Zach Pace just trying to get, this pitch in there. I think manager Ryan Stevens is trying to get Dugan through the third. There's a big swing and a miss from the switch hitting Corio. Count 1-2. I mentioned Zach Pace. That's actually the manager for Sonoma, I believe. This pitch in there, and that rings Corio up. Oh, the top of the third finally over for Dugan on the mound. That is not the start that he wanted to put out there. Came in with a glimmering ERA, sub-2. And the Crawdads have really detonated here early. It is 8-0. Bottom half of the third coming up when we return here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom half of the third, it's 8-0 Crawdads. Walnut Creek. Couple of fours up there on the scoreboard for them. 4 in the top of the second, 4 last half inning. And now Hollis Fanning with the ball once again. And he's just been excellent so far. He's already registered 4 strikeouts. Base runner has been on during this start, but reached on an error. And it's going to be 8, 9, and 1 for Fanning here in the bottom of the third. Brennan Roselle, the right fielder, leading off. Then Jared Breedwell and Zach Chamizo. Roselle getting his first at-bat tonight, and it's a curveball that is placed picture perfect on the inside corner to the righty Roselle for strike number 1. No 1 pitch, and there's a cutter that is foul tipped into the mitt of McKenna, and Fanning really mixing it up now. Looks like he's got all 4 pitches that he has in his arsenal. They're all under control. The fastball, the cutter, the curve, the changeup. The 0-2 pitch, what's he going to go with here? Try to take something off a cutter there. Hit the outside. But the count 1-2. McKenna setting up outside once again. The 1-2 pitch, and this is chopped on the ground. A sliding stop made by the first baseman Duroff, and he flips to the covering pitcher Fanning for the first out. That is a tough play to make for Brian Duroff on this infield turf. Slide differently than you do on dirt, which the Crawdads are used to playing on. And even though, he's wearing pants and the socks are covering the shins, wouldn't be surprised if there's a little turf burn going on as well. And the first pitch to Breedwell misses low. Count 1-0. Coming into that at-bat, Roselle was hitting .245. Breedwell hitting .294. This is his 10th game this summer for the Potters. Has 2 RBIs. And the 1-0. Finding the strike zone once again is Hollis Fanning. Evens things up at 1-1. Well, Fanning is a man that can go multiple innings and very deep into games, especially when he's on like he is tonight. However, he misses there. The count 2-1. I must have had Zach Pace on the mind last half inning, the 2-1 pitch, and this misses low and in. The count 3-1. That's probably because the notes today are scattered with talking points about how important it was for Sonoma to win the game yesterday against Lincoln at Arnold Field. The 3-1 pitch, and this misses low. The second base runner now for the Potters, and it comes on a walk to Breedwell. That is his 3rd walk of the season. And he's over at first with 1 away. Still 8-0 Crawdads. Well, we know that Lincoln can get started in a hurry. No lead is safe in the CCL. Hollis Fanning, pretty tough cookie, even with runners on. Here's Zach Chamizo, who's 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first. Well, over to first, but nothing going on over there. Back in safely is Breedwell. Another pitch over to first. And 3 throws over to first now from Fanning. And now McKenna's going to go out there and talk with Hollis. Maybe thinks Fanning a little uncomfortable there, or maybe the signs were crossed up and that's why Fanning kept throwing over to first. Oh, with the Crawdads up 8-0 They've put themselves in prime position to be victorious in Lincoln tonight. Pitch here, and the first pitch from Fanning to Chamizo is hit to the opposite field, but it lands foul down the left field line. Down 0-1, so finally a strike on Chamizo. So the way that the tiebreakers work in the CCL, you do have to get into this because it is important for the Crawdads. It's also important for Lincoln. Chamizo back in the box. Reedwell has his lead. McKenna setting up outside. The 0-1 misses. The count 1-1. So first it's head-to-head. Then after that, it's runs given up. It's not run differential. It's runs conceded in league play. 1-1 pitch, and this is fouled high. Count 1-2. So the Crawdads have a chance tonight to even things up 4-4 in the 8 games that they will have played after tonight's game concludes against Lincoln. But barring something crazy happening, like Lincoln giving up 46 runs, say, over the next couple of games, as this pitch misses outside. But unless Lincoln really implodes and gives up a ton of runs, the Crawdads are not going to win that second tiebreaker. The 2-2, and this is foul tipped. Was it caught by McKenna? It was. Another strikeout for Hollis Fanning. That is now 5 Ks that he has in the ledger, and Chamizo 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. So it is very important for the Crawdads to not just win tonight, but really get a victory tomorrow at high noon in Danville, California against Sonoma. And then as a pickoff move over here to first, the Crawdads are going to actually have a makeup game scheduled. It is now officially scheduled with Healdsburg for August 2nd. That's a Tuesday. That'll be in Healdsburg. And the pitch in there. Good curveball from Fanning. Down 0-1. To Chase Weisenborn, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So the Crawdads can make life really easy for themselves if they just win out. That would guarantee them a playoff spot. 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed. And the count 0-2. If they were to lose this game, they would need some help from some other ball clubs. Solano being one and Healdsburg the other, as this is hit high and out of play. Land in the parking lot. The count 0-2 with 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Crawdads lead 8-0. So it's always better not to have to rely on outside help. Always preferable to help yourself. That's what the Crawdads are doing tonight. Fanning looking for strikeout number 6, the 0-2 pitch, and just fighting this off is Chase Weisenborn. Weisenborn over at second tonight for Lincoln. They do have a runner on. Pitch, and this is hit. A lazy grounder over to Calvillo, the shortstop. Makes a wide throw at first, but a good stretch by DeRoth, able to pick it. And that's out number 3. So after 3 innings, we're a third of the way through here. It's 8-0 Crawdads, and the Dads will be back up to bat, looking to add to an 8-0 lead when we return here on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the fourth inning, the Crawdads in command, 8-0 here in Lincoln, California. I'm Alon to say. Crawdads off to a great start tonight. They've gotten a great start from Hollis Fanning on the mound. They've gotten some great hitting. Just some awesome performances in the batter's box so far from their lineup. And that's why they're ahead. They scored 4 in the second, 4 in the top of the third. They were held scoreless in the top of the first by Nick Dugan. But that was the most success that he had in his short-lived start. He is now out of the game, and Alex Dargan is coming in to relieve him. A 6'2 righty from the University of Southern California, the Trojan, out there on the mound now, just finished his warm-ups. He comes in 2-2 with an 8.3 ERA, 8.30. This is his 12th appearance. He's thrown 26 innings, 28 strikeouts, 36 hits, 20 walks. So 56 men on base in 26 innings. That's why the ERA and the whip are so high there. And the first pitch here to Ryan Brome misses in the count 1-0. A 1-0 pitch to Bromer, and he takes outside. The count 2-0. The 2-0 pitch, and Brome takes once again. Brome, we all know how patient he is. Does not strike out a lot, but does walk a ton. And this pitch misses outside. That's a 4-pitch walk that Dargan has issued out of the pen here to the first batter. He faces Ryan Brome, and for Ryan Brome, who's in left tonight for the Crawdads, that is the 28th walk of his 2022 CCL season. A final line on tonight's starter for Lincoln, Nick Dugan, as Coleman Schmidt heads up to the plate. And now a brief pause, and everything's ready now, you would presume. Taking a peek over at first is Dargan. Brome takes a few hops away from first, but the pitch is fouled away. The count 0-1 to Coleman Schmidt. Brome is still 1 for 2. Made up for the strikeout he had in the second with the walk he just drew. But the final line on Nick Dugan, 3 innings, 9 hits given up, 8 runs all earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, faced 20 Crawdads. The 0-1 pitch, and this misses high and in. Count 1-1. So the Crawdads now in the top of the fourth with an 8-0 lead over Lincoln, have had a base runner in every frame. That's something they've been doing with regularity over a 3-game winning streak. The 1-1 pitch, and Schmidt takes high and in once again. The count 2-1. Nick Dugan, who looked like he was going to be a pretty tough challenge for the Crawdads tonight, is knocked out of the game. They had him against the ropes and knocked him through the ropes. And Dargan delivering the 2-1. That misses low. 3 balls and a strike to Coleman Schmidt. Schmidt's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first. He walked in the second, but was retired trying to steal second. Good throw from Shields. The 3-1 pitch to Schmidt. Green light all the way. Not able to connect cleanly. And this is fouled back into the backstop. The count runs full, 3-2. Not a whole lot of other games going on in the CCL tonight. Lighter schedule than usual, especially out of the Southern Division. The payoff pitch to Schmidt, and staying alive is Coleman. They'll see another 3-2. But of the games that are currently in progress, Healdsburg hosting Solano in the bottom of the fourth at Recreation Park. The Prune Packers have a 4-run lead. It's 6-2. San Luis Obispo is up by 1 against the visiting OC Riptide at Sinsheimer Park in slow. That's 2-1. Sonoma down 5-0 against the Novato Knicks in the top of the third as this pitch misses low, and that's back-to-back walks now rendered by Dargan out of the bullpen. Ryan Stevens, the manager for Lincoln, looking for some answers out there on the mound. Ed Dugan had great stats, wasn't able to get it done, and now Dargan missing some locations here to the first two batters he faces. And here's Kavares Tears, who has walked twice tonight, come around to score twice tonight. Oh, he's being very selective, and he'll just force Dargan to throw a strike here. 8-0 Crawdads. Couple of runners on. Brome in scoring position at second. Schmidt over at first. First pitch from Dargan to Tears, and Tears taking all the way. That's a strike. But the Stompers, who won last night against Lincoln in Sonoma at Arnold Field, really helping the Crawdads out, are down 5-0 against the Novato Knicks in the top of the third. Oh, one pitch, and this is hit out of play. Count 0-2. The Academy Barons are supposed to get started with the Caneo Oaks, but it looks like that game's still in pregame. That game at Cal Lutheran at Sparky Anderson Field. The Barons on the road. So that's what's going on around the rest of the CCL. The 0-2 pitch to Tears, and that's that great approach that we've been seeing out of Tears about the last week. He's been very selective, and when he has to protect, he's shortened things up a bit, and he's been able to see more pitches than he was at the midpoint of the season. Dargan looks back at second, now fires, and this is blocked well by Shields, the catcher. The count 1-2. The outfielders playing about as deep as you can here, unless you want to get on the warning track. Crenshaw shaded to his left, our right, and this is tailor-made on the ground over to the second baseman Weisenborn for a double play, and they do convert it 4-6-3. So Weisenborn, a good job fielding that ground ball. Flipped over to Shimizo, and Shimizo did the rest. That was about as picture perfect of a double play you'll see. Ground ball that was easy to field. An easy flip, a good feed from Weisenborn over to the second base bag, and Shimizo did the rest. So there's 2 away now, but Brome does move up to third. And here's Brian DeRoff, who's 2 for 2. First pitch to DeRoff, misses low, the count 1-0. Crawdads have a chance for run number 9 with Brome just 90 feet away. .1-0 pitch. DeRoff hits this on the ground. Going to force Shimizo, the shortstop, into a slide. He'll try to gun it across the diamond, but not in time to get DeRoff. So a hard 90 run there by DeRoff. And run number 9 scoring for the Crawdads. It is 9-0 Walnut Creek against Lincoln. Still 2 away, but now DeRoff over at first. DeRoff now 3 for 3. A couple of singles and an RBI double. And this latest single with an RBI on top as well. So even after the double play that Tears hit into as this pitch, a strike to Calvillo, who's 1 for 1 with a couple of RBIs. Had a sac fly in the second and an RBI double in the third. Pitch misses away. DeRoff over at first. And this pitch in there, the count 1-2. But Calvillo had the sac fly in the second, an RBI double in the third. And that was one of 4 straight RBI hits for the Crawdads in that third inning, which they hung 4 runs on the scoreboard in. As this pitch misses away, the count 2-2. But it's 9-0 Crawdads now in Lincoln. Two. Calvillo takes. Count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, if the Crawdads do qualify for the playoffs, and that is what they're trying to do tonight, as well as the rest of the season with the games remaining, there will be 2 more after tonight. It will not be the first seed in the CCL North. They'll be the second, as this pitch is flared out to right. And that's going to be a single for Calvillo. Duroff going to advance all the way to third, and a throw back into the infield, and they're able to tag Calvillo, who took a big turn off of first and tried to get back. Now he's having a chat with Ryan Lovato, who's telling Cameron, you just can't do that. Calvillo disappointed with himself. Could have kept the inning going there for the Crawdads, but they are able to get 1 run. It is 9-0. The Crawdads on top. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Hollis Fanning back on the mound. We return here from Lincoln on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 4th, 9-0 Crawdads against Lincoln in Lincoln. Hollis Fanning getting ready for his 4th inning of work here. It's going to be J.T. Walden, Garrett Crenshaw, and Trey Furry, 3, 4, and 5. And Fanning just getting right back after it. Another strike. Second pitch, and this is chopped. A high bouncer. It's fair down the first base line. Duroff has it. He'll just try to beat out Walden to the bag, and it looks like he does. There's a bit of an argument happening over there at first base, but that's an out. A 1 down here. And Walden now 0 for 2, and both to Brian Duroff, where Duroff just took it to first base. Here's Garrett Crenshaw, who was also grounded out to Duroff. Pitch to Crenshaw, the lefty takes, and missing just a bit low there. An off-speed pitch is Hollis Fanning to count 1-0. Fanning has just had everything working tonight. And it's 1-1 to Crenshaw. Oh, he is a strike thrower. Gets another strike up on the board with that foul ball. A couple of good attempts there by Crenshaw. And the count 1-2. Fanning already with 5 strikeouts this evening. Has a chance for number 6. Fanning kicks, delivers, misses low, bounces to McKenna. The count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fanning, 39 strikes, 18 balls. Just a little over 2-1 in the strike-to-ball ratio. The 2-2. And Crenshaw whiffs. Sit him down, Hollis Fanning. That's strikeout number 6 for the one-eyed bandit from Tennessee. Here comes Trey Furry, who's 0 for 1. And he struck out to Fanning in the second in his first at-bat. And Hollis, through 3 2/3, is just 2 pitches shy of 60 hurls. First pitch here. Pitch number 59 misses low. The count 1-0. Pitch number 60 from Hollis coming up. Now, Fanning much better tonight than he was in his last start, which was here in Lincoln. The 1-0 pitch, and just missing outside is Fanning. The count 2-0. I think one of the most important things for Fanning tonight is that he has gotten ahead of a lot of these hitters. The 2-0 pitch, and trying to drop in a breaking ball was Fanning, but to no avail. And Fanning behind 3-0. Fanning has walked a man this evening. That was Jared Breedwell, the number 9 hitter. Another base runner also gone on for the Potters because of an error. The 3-0 pitch, and pounding the zone there is Fanning. Looking to get out of the batter's box and toss the bat was Trey Furry. But he's going to have to see at least one more pitch as the count 3-1. 2 away here, bottom of the 4th. Crawdads 9-0 lead. A 3-1 pitch misses away. Now it's a walk of Furry. Oh, he'll toss the bat. And that's the third base runner tonight for Lincoln. But every time there has been a base runner on for the Potters, Fanning has been able to respond and respond well. He has struck out the next batter the previous 2 scenarios. First pitch here, there's a curveball. Hits the outside corner, strike number 1. No swing there from Nolan McCarthy, who's 0 for 1. He reached on that error. The error on Ryan Ellis in the second. 0-1 pitch with a runner on first, and this bounces down at McKenna's feet, but he's able to scramble and recover. Count a ball and a strike. One out away from Hollis Fanning's 4th inning of shutout work. The 1-1 pitch. This is left high in the zone. Looked like a cutter that didn't have much cut on it. And missed a location there did Fanning. That is the first hit tonight for Lincoln. Just roping that out into left field was Nolan McCarthy. He's now 1 for 2. And there's going to be a pinch hitter for Lincoln. Troy Shields, his night is done. He'll finish 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And it's Nick Paws. 2 runners on. This is the most trouble that Fanning has been in all night. It's still 9-0 Crawdads. A couple of runners on with 2 away. 1 in scoring position at second. This pitch is a tapper over to the second baseman, Corio, who's up with it and throws over to first for out number 3. So a couple of runners get on against Hollis Fanning. Trey Furry walked. Nolan McCarthy hit a single into left, but the pinch hitter, Nick Paz, grounded out over to Corio, 4-3. After 4, it is 9-0 Crawdads. Hollis Fanning has been excellent, and the Bats are going to try to continue to keep things going offensively for the Dads when we return after the break here on the Crawdads streaming network. Well, Nick Paz pinch hit for Troy Shields in the bottom of the 4th. Shields is the catcher starting tonight for the Potters. Paz is now the catcher for Lincoln. It's the top of the 5th. The Crawdads with a 9-0 lead right now. And it's 8-9-1 up to bat. They're the first 3. McKenna, Jack Ben Shoshan, and then Ryan Ellis. McKenna has had a stellar night at the plate so far. And the first pitch misses outside. McKenna, 2 for 2. A pair of RBIs. A couple of well-hit balls for singles, and he takes a big rip here. McKenna, a little fooled there. The off-speed from Dorgan. And the count even at 1-1. Dorgan kicks and deals. McKenna hits this high down the left field line, but in foul territory. That'll land right out there near the berm. Out past the bullpen of the Crawdads. The count 1-2. So McKenna in the lineup tonight. Manager Brant Cummings penciled him in. Also maybe partially influenced as well by Hollis Fanning, who specially requested McKenna to catch him, the 1-2 pitch, and this misses high. Calling for it high there was the newly inserted catcher, Paz. But the pitch missed higher than the letters. And the count 2-2. A lefty, McKenna waiting, the 2-2 pitch, and he hits this high down the left field line and foul once again. One of the trends for the Crawdads during the 3-game winning streak that they have a chance to extend to 4 tonight has been the bottom of the order really having great effective at-bats for manager Brant Cummings. The 2-2 pitch misses away. And McKenna, the catcher for the Dabs, is going to see a payoff pitch from Dorgan. Whether it's been Casey Cummings or Zach Tejero, Cameron Calvillo, they've really gotten some good production down there. This pitch is hit to the opposite field, and it gets through the 5-6 hole and down in left field. So a good piece of hitting for Andrew McKenna, who is now 3 for 3. That's just the way it's gone tonight for the Dads offensively. They now have 11 and now make that actually 12 hits. 9 runs, 12 hits. And they've held the Potters scoreless with just 1 hit. Now here's Ben Show, and he takes the first pitch inside for a strike. Thought it was a little in. You saw motion there with the hand. Crawdads have another big game tomorrow, 12 p.m. in Danville. It's the last home game of the season for Walnut Creek. The 0-1 pitch, and this misses in and actually hits Benshaw. So hit by a pitch is Jack Benshaw. He's on base for the second time this evening. He struck out in his first appearance, but then had an RBI triple in the third, and now hit by a pitch here in the fifth. So moving up to second is McKenna. Over at first is Jack Benshaw, and the lineup card turns over. It's Ryan Ellis, who's 1 for 3. Ellis grounded out in the first, doubled and scored in the second, struck out in the third. First pitch to Ryan Ellis, and that is right there on the outside edge to the lefty Ellis for strike number 1. The 0-1 pitch. This is chopped foul. Count 0-2. Nice catch made by someone over there, one of the coaching staff members for the Potters near their dugout. Well, one of the things about the Potters tonight and going forward, the pitching staff very thin. It has been depleted. A lot of attrition in the CCL as the season wears on. Either universities shutting guys down, guys maybe getting banged up, but supposedly there were just 2 guys ready to go tonight for the Potters on the mound. And Dargan, who's out there right now, was number 2. The 0-2 pitch, and Ellis finds the hole on the left side. That's out in left field. John Jensen sending McKenna around third to score, and he will. An RBI single for Ryan Ellis. It's 10-0. The Crawdads not ready to pump the brakes yet. They want to keep scoring. Ryan Ellis collects his 24th RBI of the season. And the Crawdads with a double-digit lead now. After being blown out yesterday by Sonoma, Lincoln having it taken to them here tonight at their home ballpark at McBean Stadium. Pitch misses. Count 1-0 to Tyson Corio. Corio 1 for 3. Fly out in the first. 2 RBI single in the second. One that Crenshaw had some trouble picking up as it rolled out to him in center. But Corio also struck out in the third. The 1-0 pitch to Corio, and hitting the black to the switch hitting Corio there is Dargan. Fans probably just hoping for fireworks at this point. The 1-1 pitch as this misses low. Count 2 balls and a strike. But the Potters faithful, they love their Potters. They know that there's still plenty of games, or I should say plenty of scenarios that could happen where the Potters make the playoffs, even if they do lose this game. If the Potters are tied with the Crawdads at the end of the season in the CCL North standings, the Potters would get the nod because of the runs conceded different, as this is hit high and deep into the left center gap, and that gets down at the wall. That's going to be a double at least. And now heading into third is Tyson Corio, and he has a 2 RBI triple. That's Tyson Corio's second triple this week. Had one in Healdsburg. Now he has one here in Lincoln, and Lincoln's a lot harder to hit triples in because the fences are so much closer. It's now 12-0 Crawdads. The scoring continues. And now one of the major issues for Lincoln is you're going to have to leave Dargan out there for a while, even though he's getting blown up. Fastball called a strike to Ryan Brome. Brome 1 for 2, single in the first, struck out in the second, walked and scored in the fourth rather. Corio off of third. The 0-1 pitch, and this bounces up to the new catcher Paz. The count 1-1. Taking a little bit longer out there to deliver this pitch is Dargan. He nods and he deals and misses high. Trying to frame it and help his guy out there was Paz. But it's been a tight strike zone tonight. Hollis Fanning has been able to hit it. Has not been the same story for the two pitchers employed by Lincoln, either Dugan or Dargan. The 2-1 pitch, this has popped up about a mile high, but out of play. Count 2-2. So you go from Dugan to Dargan. And I'm not sure who else Lincoln has ready to go tonight. They do have someone stretching and doing some tossing out there in their bullpen. 2-2 pitch misses high. The count 3-2. And warming up in the Lincoln bullpen is Devin Martin. Nobody out yet. It's 12-0 Crawdads. Corio off of third. Payoff pitch, and this is grounded over to the first baseman, Walden, who takes it to first, but Corio scores from third. It is now 13-0 Crawdads. A one down here. In the top of the fifth inning. Crawdads scored 4 in the second, 4 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and now 4 once again here in the top of the fifth. And we're only a third of the way through this half inning as this is smashed into center deep. Settling at the track is the center fielder Crenshaw. He has it. Coleman Schmidt gave it a ride, was looking for home run at number 11. Just a deep fly out here, and there's 2 down. Here comes Kavara's Tears. Shown a very good eye. Good plate discipline tonight. Couple of walks, come around to score twice. However, he did hit into a double play in the fourth. And the first pitch to Tears, off speed. For strike number 1, the count 0-1. Crawdads would love if Hollis Fanning can go more than 5 innings this game, as that pitch swung on and missed by Tears. The count 0-2. Here's where we might see how ingrained the new approach is for KT, as the Crawdads up huge. The 0-2 pitch, and he chops this. High bounce it took there off the turf, but foul down the first base line. Fielded in foul territory by JT Walden, but now this is where sometimes some complacency can come in, and not just for Kavara's Tears, for any ball player. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying that about Kavara's Tears at all. It's just been so amazing the approach he's had over about the past 7 days. Like to see it continue. The 0-2 pitch misses high, and there's Kavara's Tears being very disciplined once again. So it looks like this is the KT that Tennessee will be getting when he gets back on campus. The 1-2 pitch to Tears, and that pitch misses high. But when it's a 13-0 ball game that you lead in, sometimes the focus can drift. You start thinking about tomorrow or the next day or whenever the next game is. The 2-2 pitch and swung on and missed. That was a good one there from Dargan. Good breaking ball, low in the zone. And Tears, a little frustrated that he struck out, but another good inning offensively for the Crawdads. They put up 4 runs. Tyson Corio had a 2 RBI triple that was massive, and then a little sacrifice for Ryan Brome to score another run, and Ryan Ellis had an RBI hit as well. So the Crawdads just getting Great performances at the plate from just about everyone tonight. And they lead 13-0 against the Potters here in Lincoln. Bottom of the fifth coming up when we return on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom half of the fifth, Hollis Fanning on the mound still for the Crawdads. And why not? He's been great. Has not conceded a run yet. It's Brennan Roselle at the plate. And the first pitch to Roselle, I think Roselle thought it was a little high. It was about belt high, but called a strike. Roselle 0 for 1 tonight. Bounced out 3-1. The 0-1 pitch to Roselle, and he chops this foul off his own shin, it looks like. But tough man is Roselle. He can handle it. Count 0-2. After Roselle, it'll be Breedwell and Chamizo. Potters still with just one hit, and the Crawdads out in front 13-0 as this is tapped on the ground. The shortstop Calvillo has to wait on it. Now make a strong throw over to first, and a nice stretch by Brian DeRoff to get out number 1. One down here in the bottom of the fifth. 0 for 2 now is Roselle. Grounded out a couple of times. And here's Jared Breedwell, the number 9 hitter, who's a designated hitter for Lincoln. He walked back in the third. Oh, he's still over. Fanning fires, and that's really been the first bad miss all night. It was a curveball that Fanning didn't get on top of, and it stayed high and in. And the count 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, and Fanning misses in 2 straight balls from Hollis. Well, both these teams tied in second right now. The 2-0 pitch, this is fouled away. Second place in the CCL North, that is. Both 6 games behind first place Healdsburg. That's unreachable at this point, mathematically impossible. Not enough games to make up. But second place on the table for either of these teams. Crawdads have a bit of a tougher road ahead of them in terms of needing to just win outright with victories that would push them over the amount that Lincoln would have, because if the season ended in a tie, Lincoln would probably have the conceded runs tiebreaker go in their favor as the count 2-2. A couple of foul balls. The 2-2 pitch, and this misses outside. cutter there. And the count runs full 3-2. Still just one hit for the Potters, and the check swing there missed low. And that's a walk. So a second walk for Breedwell. He's over at first for the second time tonight. And here's Zach Chamizo, who's 0 for 2. With 2 swinging strikeouts. Chamizo, the shortstop for Lincoln. With 1 away, Lincoln needs base runners as they trail 13-0, and first pitch is foul. CCL playoffs will be in San Luis Obispo, August 4th through the 6th. The 0-1 pitch, and this is hit hard on the ground to a sliding Duroff. The first baseman throws over to second for 1. The return throw from Calvillo gets by the covering pitcher, Fanning. So they just get the 1 out at second. Calvillo kind of had to wait there for Fanning to get in position to field the throw from second. So there's a runner on first, and now 2 away. Boy, a nice stop there by Brian Duroff. He's made a couple of nice sliding plays on this infield turf. Here's Weisenborn, who takes strike number 1. Chamizo now at first base. That was a fielder's choice that he just batted into. Second pitch to Weisenborn. He gets on top of the baseball, but it bounces over to the shortstop Calvillo, who flips to the covering Corio at second for round number 3. Hollis Fanning is now through 5 innings of shutout baseball. And now it's a question of how deep does manager Brant Cummings want to let him go? We know that Fanning has a limit right around 100 pitches. We'll see if he gets to that tonight. 13-0, the Crawdads lead. Top of the 6th when we return here on the Crawdads streaming network. Welcome back to the DVB Insurance broadcast booth on the road. Alon to say here with you. It's 13-0 Crawdads in the top of the 6th. The third pitcher now on the mound for Lincoln. It's Devin Martin. So Devin Martin having to get ready and pitch in a game that manager Ryan Stevens did not want him to go in, and it's not because didn't want Devin specifically. It's because Ryan Stevens only wanted to use 2 pitchers tonight. Martin comes in 1-0 with a 7.44 ERA. This is his 8th appearance. All previous 7 were out of the pen. He's thrown 9 2/3 innings, 11 strikeouts, 7 walks, and 18 hits given up. And the first pitch from Martin misses outside. The count 1-0 to Brian DeRoff. It's DeRoff, Calvillo, and McKenna, 6, 7, and 8 for the Dads, who are just cooking tonight. A 1-0 pitch to DeRoff. Just fought off in on the hands. The count 1-1. DeRoff is 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He had a single in the third, a double in his next at-bat, as this one comes in and hits DeRoff up high. And DeRoff has had to wear some pitches. Had that one that happened about 9-10 days ago in on the hands, and he had to recover from that. And then yesterday, there was a ground ball that he was trying to field, and he eventually body blocked it, but initially it skipped off the dirt at Monte Vista and then hit him in the glove hand wrist. Now that's why he was substituted out of the game yesterday. He's healthy today, and now he's over at first after being plunked. DeRoff still 3 for 3, and he's on first. And here's Cameron Calvillo. Big cut and a miss there from Calvillo. Count 0-1. Calvillo with a sac fly in the second, an RBI double in the third, and a hit in the fourth, but then the relay throw back in was good enough to get him as he was trying to get back to first base. 0-1 pitch is fought off, and the count 0-2. A final line on Dargan, the first reliever out of the pen for the Potters. 2 innings, 5 hits given up, 5 runs, all earned, walked 2, struck out 1. Faced 12 Dads. The 0-2 pitch to Calvillo. Getting under this is Cameron, and he'll see another pitch. Count stays 0-2. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Star Wars night, still going to be a fun night for all these Potters fans, even with the score being 13-0. Had some great pregame festivities. The big flyover from the Air Force boys. That was cool to see and hear. Love when those fighter jets come in. There's nothing that can fire you up like that, especially before a big sporting event. And this is a huge game for both teams tonight. They're off with a small lead off of first. Being held on by Walden. The pitch to Calvillo, and he fights another pitch off. Now the 5th pitch in this at-bat coming to Calvillo, who's down in the count 0-2. On deck is Andrew McKenna. The 0-2 pitch to Calvillo, and yet another foul ball. So Calvillo protecting mighty well here against Devin Martin. 6'6" righty. Hometown, Citrus Heights, California. The 0-2 once again, and taking there is Calvillo. And for a moment, it looked like he reacted as if that may have been called a strike, but the count 1-2. Miss just in and low. The 1-2 pitch to Calvillo. There is a hanging curveball that is hit high into right field near the line. Making a run on it is Roselle. He has it for the first out. That ball was hit way up there in the air. And the right fielder, Brennan Roselle, able to keep track of it. The lights now just coming on here in Lincoln as the sun's starting to set. And there's one down. DeRoff still at first. And you figure the Crawdads might not need any more runs. They have 13 tonight, and they've held Lincoln scoreless. But it's always nice to add on. And a fastball there for a strike to McKenna. McKenna has had a wonderful night. He's 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. All 3 hits have been singles. He's also come around to score once. Second pitch to McKenna, a breaking ball that misses high. Now 1-1. So with the playoffs being down in San Luis Obispo, August 4th through the 6th, the way that works is first couple of rounds are double elimination. The final is just one game, which is fascinating as McKenna fouls this off. The count 1-2 because, talking to people, you kind of figure maybe it would be the other way around, kind of counterintuitive. You would think that it would be single elimination and then the final between the two top teams would be a series. But instead, it's not. The 1-2 pitch to McKenna. He takes there. That's strike 3. He knew it. And McKenna's perfect night at the plate is now finished. He is 3 for 4. But it was a good run, Andrew. One of his best days at the plate as a Crawdad. And there's 2 down. Duroff led this inning off, getting hit by a pitch delivered by Martin, and this, a fastball that misses down in the turf and gets to the backstop. Taking second is Duroff. Yet another runner in scoring position for the Crawdads, who have scored in every inning since the second. They scored 4 in the second, 4 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth. Only scoreless inning thrown by a Potters pitcher tonight was the top of the first, as this is slashed at, but hit down the third baseline foul. Jack Ben Shoshan struck out in the second, his first at bat, but then had an RBI triple in the third and was hit by a pitch himself in the fifth. Pitch here to Ben Show. Gets under this, fouls it into the beer garden. Count 1-2. That triple from Jack Ben Shoshan in the third was one of 3 extra base hits that the Crawdads had that half inning. And you always figure coming here to Lincoln that people are going to start hitting the ball out of the park. Crawdads haven't needed that. The 1-2 pitch to Jack Ben Shoshan, and he takes the count 2-2. Martin looking a little bit better than his counterparts on Lincoln this evening. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Duroff over at second. A check swing there from Jack Ben Shoshan, but just missing the inner portion of the plate was Martin, and the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Very professional strike zone tonight. Hollis Fanning has been able to execute with relative ease. Not so for the Potters pitching staff. The payoff pitch to Ben Show. He hits this on the ground over to short. Shimizu up with it. Goes over to first for out number 3. So after 5.5, it is 13-0 Crawdads. Bottom of the 6th coming up here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 6th inning, Dylan Devitt is in the game for the Crawdads on the mound, so the evening done for Hollis Fanning, who was just excellent. 5 innings, gave up 1 hit, walked 3, struck out 6, faced 20 Potters. And the best stat for Hollis is he gave up no runs, as it is 13-0 Crawdads here. Devitt just finishing his warm-ups. Devitt, the 6'2 righty at San Diego State University. He's 0-1 this summer, 2.31 ERA, 8 appearances coming into this. This will be his 9th, all previous 8 out of the pen. He has a save. He's pitched 11 2/3 innings, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, 11 hits. Or check that, 7 hits, so 11 base runners on in those 11 2/3 innings that he has tossed. And the first pitch that Devitt throws is a ball. Second pitch to Walden. This misses low. The count 2-0. It's Walden, Crenshaw, and Furry. Walden has grounded out twice, both to Brian DeRoff, who then stepped on first base for the out. The 2-0 pitch, and Walden takes in. Devitt falling behind early to Walden, but the count 2-1. The 2-1 pitch, and firing in a good breaking ball there is Devitt, and the count even 2-2 to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch, this misses low, and actually that was ball 4, so scoreboard was a little off out there, and we had it off here on our monitor as well, and that's a walk to Walden. Walden still 0 for 2, but now he's on first. Here comes Garrett Crenshaw, the center fielder tonight for Lincoln. He's 0 for 2, bounced out to first, and then struck out in the 4th, and the first pitch here gets away from McKenna. And a little erratic for Dylan Devitt, as advancing one bag is JT Walden. Even with how well Hollis Fanning was pitching, the reason that he is out of the ball game is he is the presumed starter in either the first or second game that the Crawdads play, and if they do make the playoffs, as this slider misses in, and the count 2-0. A good job by McKenna. Scurry out in front of it, make sure Walden can't get to third. But that's the thinking there from the coaching staff and manager Brant Cummings, is to not overly tax the arm of Fanning. Devitt behind 2-0 here to Crenshaw. Firing in a strike there is Devitt with the breaking ball. The count 2-1. Something pertinent to the game has just come across the desk. There is a pretty good chance of rain right around 9 p.m. The 2-1 pitch, and this misses low. You can see some of those clouds out there in the distance. Definitely feels a little more humid than it did when we got here, as the count 3-1. Don't know if we'll see Las Vegas levels of rain. The 3-1 pitch, and in there for a strike. That's been the best pitch so far for Devitt, has been the breaker. But if you've been following along with the news, no matter where you are, you've seen that Las Vegas has just been getting buckets of rain. And there might be rain here tonight in Lincoln. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Dylan Devitt. Grabbing a chair for Garrett Crenshaw is Devitt, and that's the second strikeout that Crenshaw has had to endure this evening. Still a runner over at second, but one down. Crawdads up by a bunch. And here is Trey Furry, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. And Furry gets into this, hits this into right center. It gets down in front of Coleman Schmidt, who is tracking it. And there are now runners on the corners. For the Potters, that is only the second hit they have this evening. Moving to third is Walden. And Furry now over at first. He's 1 for 2. With just one out here in the bottom of the sixth. This pitch is hammered to left, and that'll get down right in front of the left fielder, Brome. And the Potters are on the scoreboard. An RBI single for Nolan McCarthy, who's now 2 for 3. Gets his 29th RBI of the summer, and it's 13-1. Crawdads no longer in control of a shutout. The first run has been plated for Lincoln. Runners on first and second. Walden was the man who came across to score. Furry moves up to second. McCarthy now at first. And this fouled into the netting. Count 0-1. Poss, who was inserted for Troy Shields, is at bat. He's 0 for 1 tonight, rounded out 4-3. The 0-1 pitch, and this forces McKenna to get behind the lefty's batter's box to stop it from rolling to the backstop. The count 1-1. Crawdads have had some great bullpen performances lately. 1-1 pitch. This is fouled back into the netting for a second time by Poss. The count 1-2. Devitt a little shaky here to start out of the pen, but manager Brant Cummings and the Crawdads hoping he settles down. Got good defense behind him, especially up the middle. With Calvillo at short and Corio at second. The 1-2 pitch. There's a slider that misses. It was checked on there by Poss, but he didn't go in the count 2-2. Taking a quick peek back to second is Devitt, and he misses wildly here. And now runners may be caught, and a throw over to third. Ellis goes down to apply the tag. And right now that's going to be an out call. Oh, Furry, who was over at second, didn't know if he was going to run on that wild pitch or not. McKenna, with his cat-like reflexes, was able to turn around, get the ball, throw over to third, and instead now it's going to be safe. So Furry safe over at third. That could have been calamity there for the Potters. And strike number 3 there on Poss, who's now 0 for 2. Strikeout looking. So now both runners in scoring position. Usually a wild pitch all the way to the backstop is an automatic base for whoever's on base. But Furry a little indecisive there. He's now at third. Was just able to get in safely. Initially looked like he was out. There's 2 down now. First pitch here misses in the turf to Brennan Roselle. Roselle 0 for 2. The Potters have scored 1 run this half inning. Walden, who led off with a walk, came around to score. And Nolan McCarthy collected his 29th RBI this season for the Potters with a single, the 1-0 pitch. This misses low and outside, the count 2-0. I think McKenna had to wait for Ellis to come back to the bag on that play where they tried to get Furry. And maybe a little confusion as well. He didn't know whether to throw to second or to third. The 2-0 pitch, and this misses low. The count 3-0. Devitt looking for a strike behind 3-0 here. And this is hit high into shallow right center. Is that going to drop? It will not. Instead, Jack Ben-Shoshan came in from right and made the catch. Looked like there was a little triangle, a little no man's land forming out there between Schmidt in center, Ben-Sho in right, and Corio, the second baseman, who ran out there as well. But Ben-Sho had the wheels to get to it. And that is the third out of the sixth. It is 13-1. The Potters are able to score. Walden walked, and McCarthy drove him in for a 12-run lead for the Crawdads. Top of the seventh coming up when we return here from Lincoln, California on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the seventh inning, Crawdads lead by 12. It is 13-1. Crawdads over the Potters up here in Lincoln, California. Alon to say with you. It's 1, 2, and 3 for the Crawdads. Still Martin on the mound. The third man on the mound tonight for the Potters as he steps off. Still yet to deliver a pitch to Ellis here. Ellis is 2 for 4. Most recently an RBI single. Pitch to Ellis misses in. The count 1-0. Do apologize for some of the patrons here just walking around, but can't avoid that. Packed house. Sometimes they do get in front of the lens. Hopefully that picture is coming in crystal clear here, as crystal clearly Ellis saw that and hit it off the end of the bat into left center, and he's at second with a stand-up double, being very aggressive is Ryan Ellis. That's his second double of the night. Now, one of the questions that a lot of Crawdads fans might be kicking around up in their heads right now, the collective conscious of the Crawdads supporters, is there a point where too many runs score and then you kind of have a drought the next couple of days? That can happen to ball clubs. Tyson Corio takes high. The count 1-0. Ellis off of second, the 1-0 pitch. Corio fouls this high and out of play. Past the picnic area down the left field line. The count 1-1. Last year, the playoffs were here in Lincoln. Healdsburg ended up winning it all. The 1-1 pitch to Corio. Fastball there for a strike on the inner half. The count 1-2. Strikes have been hard to come by for this Otters pitching staff tonight. And it's not for lack of effort. Just their starter. Dugan was not able to go too deep into the game. And he had really good numbers coming in. The 1-2 pitch to Corio. This misses low, but a good pick there by Paz. And the count 2-2. This year the playoffs in San Luis Obispo. A more equidistant location. The teams from the south and the teams from the north meet up in the middle. Plus, I mean, you're on the coast. And it's beautiful. The 2-2 pitch. This misses out. Count 3-2. The Crawdads had an opportunity to already play at Sinsheimer Park this season. Oh, they lost a game to the Blues. But that is just a great venue for summer ball. Holds a good amount of fans. The field is well maintained and a lot of amenities there as well. The 3-2 pitch, and this misses in. That's a walk of Tyson Corio. Oh, Corio now on base for his third time tonight. That's his first walk. And here comes Ryan Brome. Nobody out. 13-1 Crawdads. A couple of runners on. Ellis in scoring position. Really manufactured a double there with his legs. Having a conversation with Coach Ralph before the ball game about who the fastest player might be on the team. He mentioned Ryan Ellis as this pitch to Ryan Brome misses high. And Ellis, very speedy, leads the team in steals with 20. Taking a pause here is the pitcher Martin. Now he sets. And this pitch cut on and missed by Brome. But Ellis leads the team with 20. He's also tied for the league lead with 20 along with Kenny DeSalle, who's just an absolute thief when he's out there. But I was thinking, okay, Ryan Ellis, maybe Casey Cummings. He's got some wheels as this is fouled back into the screen. The count 1-2. And then after you get past those two names, there's a couple other that float around. Coleman Schmidt, he's really good in terms of swiping bags. As the 1-2 is just inside. The count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And then the last name I thought of was actually Kavares Tears. And I threw it out. I said, well, you know, in football pads, with the way Kavares Tears is built, he'd be the fastest guy, and no one would want to try to tackle him. Well, there's some guys who are fleet of foot here on this Crawdads team. The 2-2 pitch is lashed at and foul. But speed, definitely an asset for this team. It's something that they've really used all season. Coleman Schmidt in the top 5 in terms of stolen bases. He's got 16. Top 5 in the league, that is. The 2-2 pitch once again, and once again fighting it off is Ryan Brome. Brome had a single in the first, struck out in the second, walked and scored in the fourth. Had an RBI in the fifth. Little ground ball over to the first baseman Walden, but that was good enough to score a runner, and that was Corio. 2-2 pitch. Brome gets under it. It's about 30 feet onto the outfield grass. Charging in is the center fielder Crenshaw, who called off his shortstop Shimizu to make the catch. 1 down. Runners have to stay put. But I think at this point the Crawdads aren't so much concerned with the number of runs that they have or the potential runs that they could still put up during this ball game. They want to stay healthy and see some good approaches out there in the batter's box from their hitters as they're up by 12, 13-1. Here's Coleman Schmidt. Pitch to Schmidt, called a strike. The count 0-1. Schmidt walked in the first. Struck out in the first, walked in the third, walked in the fourth, and flew out to center in the 5th. So a couple of walks tonight for Schmitty. 0-1 pitch, and this misses low. And it's a great indication of Schmidt's eye on any given night when he's walking more than he strikes out, or he's putting contact on the ball more than he strikes out. Does lead the team in strikeouts at the plate. A 1-1 misses away, the count 2-1. Runners have their leads. The 2-1 pitch to Schmidt. He hits this right back up the box. Charging it is the shortstop Shimizu, who taps second for one. The throw on to first not in time to get the speedy Schmidt. But now there's 2 away and runners on the corners for the Crawdads. It's the right thought there from Shimizu. Kind of a little bleeder there, hit by Schmidt. Not the hardest contact he's made all season. That may have been one of the softest balls that he's actually put in play. But he's so fast, as we mentioned earlier. He's able to beat it out over to first. But you do like the idea from Shimizu to go to second himself and then try to fire a nice strong throw over to the first baseman Walden for a double play. Now runners on the corners. Here's Kavara's Tears. After the fielder's choice from Schmidt. And the first pitch to Tears misses outside. The count 1-0. Top of the 7th, 2 away. Crawdads with run number 14, 90 feet away. That's Ryan Ellis. This pitch to Tears. And Tears not going to go after anything bad tonight. In his first 2 appearances offensively tonight, Tears walked and scored. Hit into a double play in the 4th, struck out in the 5th. 2-0 pitch to Tears, and this misses, and taking second is Schmidt as the ball gets away from the catcher Paz momentarily. And the count now 3-0. 2 runners in scoring position now for the Crawdads. Schmidt at second, Ellis at third. Ellis got things started here in the top of the 7th with a leadoff double. Corio walked, but he was retired over at second by Shimizu, who then wasn't able to get Schmidt at first. The 3-0 pitch, and that's called a strike. Had to wait on it there, did Kavara's Tears. Good movement on that pitch. And the count 3-1. The 3-1 to Tears, and he takes all the way. And a 12-run ball game. He's not going to swing and try to show anybody up in what is obviously a hitter's count. So walk for Tears. That's the 3rd one tonight. Bases are now loaded. Tears at first, Schmidt at second, Ellis at 3rd. And a meeting on the mound. Mentioned earlier that there were only really 2 pitchers available tonight for the Potters. They only have 10 arms right now on their roster that can go. They were going to have someone eat up some innings tonight. They didn't want to have it happen in a situation where they're getting blown out. But right now it looks like that job, that unfortunate duty, is going to have to be handled by Devin Martin. Crawdads with 13 runs on 15 hits, an error. The Potters 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. If you're just joining us now, the Crawdads really from the get-go just pouncing on the Potters here in Lincoln. And Lincoln has been a very tough place, not just for the Crawdads, but for other CCL North teams as well. And now time called. Brian Duroff gets it granted. But the Crawdads recently have really had a little trend going of busting up some parties that other teams home field. Thursday in Lincoln, they were able to defeat, in Healdsburg. As the pitch from Martin misses, the count 1-0, but up in Healdsburg, the Crawdads were able to get a victory, and that was only the second time all season that the Prune Packers had lost at Recreation Park. The 1-0 pitch with the bases loaded. This is hit out of play. It's going to end up somewhere over the awning that encases the grandstands here. Just about all of the seats in shade, except for the ones closest to the screen, but really done a great job here. Have the Potters and William Jessup, which is the field that William Jessup plays baseball on. The 1-1 pitch. This misses low. The count 2-1. But it's a great job to keep the fans in the shade and help them stay cool on some hot days and hot nights in Lincoln. The 2-1 pitch to Duroff, and Duroff can't square it up. And the count even at 2-2. Duroff had a single in the second, an RBI double in the third, an RBI single in the fourth, and was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat in the sixth. Bases loaded. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Top of the seventh. The 2-2 pitch to Duroff, and just flailing the bat out there is Brian. And he'll see another pitch as he fouls this away. Fans are still into it here. Still hear the cowbells going. The 2-2 pitch to Duroff, and this comes in and hits him. He turns the back, and it hits him right in between the shoulder blades. Ryan Ellis comes home to score. It's 14-1. That's the second time that Duroff has been hit tonight, and the second time in a row in terms of him being at the plate. Ellis led things off this half inning with a double. Comes across to score. Schmidt now over at third. Tiers moves up to second, and Duroff takes his place at first. Here's the number 7 hitter, Cameron Calvillo. Had a sac fly in the second, RBI double in the third, and a hit in the fourth. Flew out to right in the sixth. The pitch to Calvillo, he goes right after it, but under a pitch that was high up above the zone, and it's fouled out of play. The count 0-1. A 13-run lead for the Crawdads here in Lincoln. Not sure too many people were expecting this. The 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss from Calvillo. Count 0-2. Calvillo waiting on the 0-2. Here it is, and he swings and misses. And the top of the seventh is over. The Crawdads get another run. Ryan Ellis had a leadoff double in the top of the seventh and came around to score after Brian Duroff was hit by a pitch. And it is 14-1 Crawdads. Seventh inning stretch, bottom of the seventh coming up after the break here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 7th. Devitt's still on the mound for the Crawdads, who lead by 13, 14-1. Crawdads have just been outstanding tonight. There's no other way to put it. The number 9 hitter, Roselle, leading off, and actually it's Breedwell, the number 9 hitter. Roselle, the number 8 hitter tonight. So it's Breedwell, Chamizo, and Weisenborn. A 1-0 pitch, and this misses. The count 2-0. This pitch in there. Actually, the pitch previous was called a strike. So the count 1-2. A 1-2 pitch to Breedwell. This is fouled away. The count stays 1-2. Breedwell has 2 walks tonight in his 2 trips to the plate. But really, it's been tough going for the Potters offense. A 1-2 pitch, and this is slapped at. Takes a couple of bounces over to Calvillo, who then has to collect it barehanded and make a throw on the run. And he does not get Breedwell at first. That'll be a hit for Breedwell. A little trouble there getting a grip on the ball, and Calvillo had to double clutch it. It momentarily popped out of his hand, and he's so skilled he was able to catch it with the bare hand on the move and then make a good accurate throw, but just not enough time to get Breedwell. So Breedwell has a hit. He's 1 for 1 now, and he's on first with nobody out. And here's Zach Chamizo, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. The first pitch to Chamizo misses low. The count 1-0. Crawdads' last home game of the summer is tomorrow. Hope to see you there in Danville, California at noon. Pitch misses out. The count 2-0. That'll be against the Sonoma Stompers. And I'm getting word now, as this ball is laced into right field, finding a hole there on the right side, is Zach Chamizo, who has his first hit. A couple of base runners on here for the Potters, but getting word now from the statistician in the booth that what I ruled as a hit for Breedwell is actually an error on Calvillo. Breedwell now over at second. Chamizo at first. Pitch misses in. Count 1-0 to Chase Weisenborn, who's 0 for 3. But we do hope to see you, as the Crawdads are in a push to the playoffs here at the end of the season. The 1-0 pitch, and that finds its own. The count 1-1. They need all the support they can get. Do love it when everybody interacts on the chat as well during the live stream, as this ball is hit to right field down the right field line. It stays fair, kicks up around the corner there. And finally digging out is Ben Shoshan. A 2-run score, and that's going to be a 2 RBI triple and a wild throw back in. And luckily Ellis is able to get a handle on. But 2 runs score for the Potters. It is now 14-3. Chase Weisenborn now with a hit. It's an RBI triple. 2 RBIs there on the triple for Weisenborn. And here's JT Walden. And the first pitch misses low, and it's a pinch hitter for Walden. So pinch hitting in Walden's spot is Casey Bogan. 1-0 to Bogan. This misses in. Count 2-0. Still nobody out here. It's 14-3 Crawdads. Lincoln rallying a bit here in this bottom of the 7th. Other pitch misses. And the count 3-0 to Bogan. Bogan's pinch hitting for Walden. Walden finishes 0 for 2 as Devitt able to author a strike there. Maybe caught a little bit too much of the plate, but no swing. Count 3-1. 3-1 pitch. This misses low, and that's a walk. Runners at first and third for the Potters, who have scored twice now in the bottom of the 7th. In the bottom of the 6th, they were able to get their first run. Back-to-back frames now for the Potters, where they've been able to get their offense going a little bit. Right now they're down 14-3, and the pitching coach Jack Delmore is out there to talk with Dylan Devitt, the young pitcher. See if Bogan stays in the game over at first. That's the second switch made tonight by the Potters. The other was pause for Troy Shields, the catching duties for Lincoln. Pitch to Crenshaw, misses outside. The count 1-0. The other games in the CCL in the top of the 9th at Recreation Park in Healdsburg, the Prune Packers, the mighty Prune Packers. As this pitch misses in, McKenna able to scramble and get it. But the Prune Packers, with an identical lead as the Crawdads, they're up 14-3 against the Mudcats. 2-0 on the way to Crenshaw. Crenshaw takes, that's a strike. Count 2-1. The OC Riptide locked in a battle with the San Luis Obispo Blues at Sinsheimer Park in the bottom of the 9th. It's 3-3. The Sonoma Stompers are down by 8 against the Novato Knicks at Arnold Field. A swing and a miss there. A couple of strikes up there now for Devitt against Crenshaw. 11-3, the Novato Knicks are in front in the top of the 7th against the Stompers. It's been a rough first year for the Stompers in the CCL. 2-2 pitch. This misses and misses in and rolls all the way to the backstop, and another run scores for the Potters. That'll be a pass ball on McKenna. Did hit the mitt. Got by him. It is now 14-4. This pitch is hit high on the infield. Calvillo has it. Pretty much in his shortstop position there. Had to drift a bit to his right. And there's one down. A couple of runners on, though, still. It's been a tough inning for Dylan Devitt. A couple of runners have scored still, even though he's been trying to find the zone a bit better. And this pitch in there for a strike. And this misses low. Count 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, and this misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. Potters have plated multiple runs this inning, and now they have a runner over at third, it looks like, and yes, they do. A wild pitch there. McKenna tried in and out over at third, but no dice for the Crawdads. The count 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, and Furry pops this up high in foul territory. The first baseman, Duroff, looking at it, has it. And that's not deep enough to score a run for the Potters.
He made it back, though. He's good. He looked like he was amazing.
Oh, here's Nolan McCarthy. McCarthy 2 for 3. Had an RBI single in his last at-bat in the 6th. That was the one run that the Potters scored, but he falls behind here, 0-1. Devitt trying to eat up some innings here for the Crawdads. Still a very comfortable lead. It's 14-4, Walnut Creek. 1-1 pitch is hacked at. And the count 1-2. Over at third is Bogan. The 1-2 pitch is a high fastball that swung on and missed. And Devitt does surrender some runs. Potter's able to score 3. But it is 14-4. The Crawdads still with a double-digit lead. Top of the 8th coming up here on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the 8th, 14-4. The Crawdads lead. And there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Potters. It's Jake Torres. He's the third man out of the bullpen tonight for Ryan Stevens' team. Torres about to make his 9th appearance this season. He's 1-0 with a 2.63 ERA. A save, 13 2/3 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 7 walks, 9 hits given up as well. Crawdads have seen him 3 times. Most recently on July 23rd, a week ago, the 9-4 victory for the Potters, but things have shaped up a lot differently tonight here in Lincoln. But back on the 23rd, Torres threw 2 innings, gave up a run. 2 hits, walked 2, struck out 2, faced 10. Oh, here is Andrew McKenna leading off. The top of the 8th, and that's a strike. The count 0-1 to the catcher McKenna. McKenna has gotten a bit of a workout in ever since Devitt came out of the bullpen in relief of tonight's starter Hollis Fanning for the Crawdads. 0-1 pitch misses outside. The count 1-1. It's 8-9-1 for the Dads. McKenna, Ben Shoshan, and Ryan Ellis. 1-1 pitch. Here it is, and McKenna promptly hits this on the ground over to second. Weisenborn has it, throws to first. Round number 1. Now Walden out of the game. Vogan now over at first. Poss still the catcher for the Potters after he came in to spell Troy Shields. Pitch here to Jack Ben Shoshan is a strike at the top of the zone. A fastball there from Torres, the lefty. The count 0-1. Ben Show had a big RBI triple earlier in the ballgame as he fouls this. The count 0-2. Oh, we mentioned, about an hour ago now, about 45 minutes at least, that there was a pretty good chance of rain at around 9 p.m. 6 minutes away from 9. Still no rainfall, so that's a good sign, especially if you're wanting to see some fireworks and you're a fan here in attendance. The 0-2 pitch, a big rip and a big miss. Actually foul tipped into the mitt of Poss. Round number 2. Ben Show strikes out for the second time. Oh, 2 quick outs for Torres. Crawdads still up by 10. It's 14-4. And here comes Ryan Ellis. Ellis in his last at-bat had a double. Came around to score. And that double happened because Ellis is so speedy. And he was hustling. First pitch to Ellis is a fastball. Perfectly located on the outside corner. The count 0-1. 0-1 pitch to Ellis. This misses away. The count 1-1. Crawdads' final game of the season will be on Tuesday, August 2nd at 6 p.m. up in Healdsburg. The 1-1 pitch to Ellis, and he has to duck out of the way. And Ellis, a close shave there. That was a scary moment. Do not want to see guys get hit ever. And you definitely don't like seeing players get hit up high, especially when the game is 14-4. Ellis steps back in. It's 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 pitch, and Ellis hits this on the ground over to the bullpen down the first base line of the Lincoln Potters. Count 2-2. But that game on Tuesday, now it's a makeup game from about a month ago. That was supposed to take place on June 30th against the Prune Packers. And the 2-2 pitch is sliced down the left field line. That gets down. Is Ellis going to have another double? He's gunning for it. The throw in is late, and Ellis has a stand-up double, his 3rd double of the night. Ellis now 4 for 6. So, Ellis has had a few looks as the leadoff hitter lately for the Crawdads. It was really a job that was taken ownership of by Coleman Schmidt for what seemed like the longest time, but manager Cummings is kind of shaking things up a bit, and Corio gets under this ball, hits it high into center field. Now coming on to make the catch is the center fielder, Crenshaw. Round number 3. Bottom of the 8th when we return. It's 14-4. Crawdads in front of the Potters here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 8th inning, Crawdads lead 14-4 here in Lincoln over the Potters. The Crawdads so far 14 runs, 16 hits, 2 errors. The Potters 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Potters runs have come in the last couple of innings, the 6th and the 7th. The Crawdads used 4 in the 2nd, 4 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, and 1 in the 7th to get to where they are. It's just been an offensive explosion tonight for the Crawdads, and really, Ryan Ellis out of the leadoff spot. That is just looking like such a great move from manager Brent Cummings. He has 3 doubles tonight. We were talking about that before the break, that Schmidt batting cleanup, a little bit lower in the order, gives him a chance with all that power he has with some runners on.
Talented right here. She got 3 drinks? She got 3 drinks.
Colson Abel on the mound now for the Crawdads. And Poss, the first hitter he has to face. Abel misses low. The count 1-0. Colson Abel on the season, 2-1 with a 7.52 ERA. This is his 13th appearance. He's pitched 20 in the 3rd innings, 23 strikeouts, 20 walks, 15 hits. Surrender, the 1-0 pitch misses away. The count 2-0. Colson Abel has a big fastball, changeup, but really the big weapon for Abel is the huge 12-6 curveball that he possesses, and if he can locate it, it is very tough for hitters to figure out. The 2-0 pitch, there's that bender, and it's a strike. A right on cue. Thank you, Colson. ERA a little inflated because of Colson's last appearance, and there was a curveball that had some extra elevation on it, missed high. The count 3-1. Abel's last appearance was on July 26 against the Solano Mudcats, an 8-3 loss for the Crawdads. Pitched an inning but gave up 4 earned runs, so that's why things a little wonky there with the ERA. And Abel misses inside. That's the 21st hitter he's walked this season. Now Paz over at first now. Crawdads lead by 10, 14-4. Good eye there by Nick Paz. And here comes Brendan Roselle. Brendan Roselle is 0 for 3 tonight. He's got a runner on first. Try to at least move him over. And the lefty, Abel, another nice curveball. Count 0-1. Oh, looks like the curveball is there for Colson. The lefty from Texas Tech that is, the Red Raider. Looking to get in some solid work tonight. Pick-off move over to first, back in safely as Paz. Count 0-1. Don't think Paz is going to take off. Been in the squad now for just about half of the innings played after he came in for Troy Shields, the original catcher tonight for the Potters. The 0-1 pitch, and this is hit hard on the ground. A diving is Corio to make the stop. Gets an out at second. Calvillo the relay over to first. But no dice for the Crawdads. They do get an out at second, so there's 1 down. I think if that ball is cleanly in the glove of Corio, he can flip it out a lot quicker to the shortstop Calvillo. It kind of ricocheted there. Luckily for Corio, it died. He was able to pick it up and get it over to second for the out there. That was it. Oh, 1 away. And the pitch here is a strike to the number 9 hitter, Jared Reedwell. Swung on and missed. And that's what Abel can do. When he has control, and he can go in and out and really have the curveball be good for him and occasionally flip a fastball on you, he can be very deceptive. The 0-2 from Abel. Curveball there, swung on and missed. Strikeout for Colson Abel. That's the 24th strikeout this season that Abel has recorded. So he started things off in this relief appearance with a walk of Poss. Then got it out over at second because of some good defense from the middle infielders. Corio at second, Calvillo the shortstop, and then strikes out the number 9 hitter, the designated hitter Breedwell. And here's Zach Chamizo. First pitch to Chamizo, completely fooled is Zach. Swings and misses, and the count 0-1. 0-1 pitch. There's a curveball that misses wildly. But luckily, he doesn't run in and hit Chamizo. Already seen a fair share of hitters be beaned tonight. Always hate that. Roselle off of first, the 1-1 pitch, and there's a curveball that just misses out. Count 2-1. Now that curveball from Abel, it's almost Zito-esque the way it drops. The 2-1 pitch, there's a fastball. This is hit very hard into the gap in left center. Picks up against the wall. It's fielded by the left fielder Brome, who throws it back into the infield. And with 2 away, the Potters have runners at second and third. That's a double for Chamizo, his second hit of the ball game. Advancing to third on the play is Brennan Roselle. And here's Chase Weisenborn. Off the bat, 95 miles an hour. So Chamizo putting a charge into it. You love having TrackMan here at this stadium in Lincoln. Get little nuggets like that. This pitch, a curveball that runs in. Having to bob and weave there. Weisenborn, count 1-0. (14-4), Crawdads lead. The 1-0 pitch is hit foul. Takes a big bounce and then up into the netting near the Crawdads dugout. The count even, a ball and a strike. One game has gone final in the CCL. Healdsburg able to beat Solano 14-3 in Healdsburg. 1-1 pitch. That misses, and the count 2-1. Novato opening up the lead a little bit against Sonoma. In Sonoma, bottom of the 8th, the Knicks lead 13-3. And the OC Riptide in extra innings have a 4-3 lead against San Luis Obispo. That's in the bottom of the 10th. A 2-1 pitch, and swing and a miss. Weisenborn had a hit in his last at-bat.
They didn't take it out. They didn't take my Pepsi out.
Couple of RBIs. The 2-2 to Weisenborn. Let's see what it is. It's a curveball that he whiffs on. That's out number 3. 8th inning is over. Still 14-4 Crawdads. Colson Abel comes out of the pen. Has a couple of runners get on, but eventually he's able to deal with it, get through things. Top of the 9th coming up when we return on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the ninth inning, Torres on the mound once again for Lincoln. They trail by 10. It is 14-4 Crawdads. Ryan Brome going to lead things off here. And what you would think would be the Crawdads' last time at bat, it is 3, 4, and 5. Brome, Schmidt, and Tears. Torres, the lefty, against the lefty Brome. High set from Torres, now lowers. Kicks and fires, and Brome hits this on the ground on the right side. That gets through. And Brome with a leadoff single in the top of the ninth.
Who'd you said you talked to somebody? The owner. Oh.
That is the second hit tonight for Brome. He has his obligatory walk already out of the way. That happened in the fourth. And weirdly, struck out. Although we've seen some weird things from Ryan Brome lately. He had the first game since the first game of the season this past week where he struck out multiple times. Coleman Schmidt takes in a call to strike, and the count holds. Schmidt still hitless tonight, but he has walked twice. The 0-1 pitch to Schmidt, and he takes again, and it's another strike. Schmidt kind of lifting the hands up there with the bat, trying to act like that ball is farther in than it actually is. And he's down 0-2. The 0-2 pitch to Schmidt, and just protecting there is Coleman Schmidt. He took a Paul Bunyan swing at that one. And if he's able to square it up, ball might be going a long way. Just a theory there. Coleman Schmidt, pretty strong young man. Brome, small lead off of first. Looking over to first momentarily is Torres. Now he delivers, and Schmidt hits this hard on the ground. Over to Weisenborn, who flips to Chamizo. A nice throw from Chamizo back to first. It's a double play. 4-6-3. And there's two away here in the top of the ninth. Well, that's been a good combination, it looks like, tonight between Weisenborn and Chamizo. Really impressed by the play of Chamizo. And it looks like Coleman Schmidt's night will end hitless. Oh, he's been on base 3 times. And looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter for Kavares Tears. It's Joe Barnhart. First pitch to Barnhart misses away. The count 1-0. Well, Barnhart getting an at-bat here with 2 down in the top of the ninth. The Crawdads up 14-4. And Barnhart, big cut to miss. The count 1-1. Barnhart hitting 194 in conference play. It's one of those guys that just figured out up there, get it going. He's so strong, and he works so hard. 1-1 pitch. You'd like to see some results start going his way, but he fans on this, and the count 1-2. Barnhart does have a home run and 2 RBIs as well. Torres has the sign. It's relayed. And now time called. Whoa, snap time call there. Looked like Paz had just went through a myriad of signs there to his pitcher Torres. Looks like they're going with the same pitch outside. We'll see if Barnhart can connect. He cannot. It's a strikeout. Round number 3, top of the ninth over. 14-4, Crawdads still lead. Last chances for the Potters coming up. Bottom of the ninth inning. On to say, I've been with you the entire way tonight, and it's been just a sensational night for the Crawdads, who lead 14-4 here on the road in Lincoln. The last chances for the Potters coming up here as Casey Bogan, who came into the game for JT Walden, leading off. It's 3, 4, and 5 for the Potters. First pitch from Abel, who's still on the mound. He'll finish this game out, you would think. Is in there for a strike. The count 0-1. Crawdads came into this game 16 and 15 in league play. As a big curveball there, swatted at. Hit on the ground over to the shortstop, Calvillo, who juggles it, but recovers just in time to make a good throw over to first for out number 1. Seen that happen to Calvillo a few times on the transfer there, where he tries to manipulate the hand and the ball, trying to find a grip. But he is just so cool out there. He's able to get it done and still make it look easy, even when it's difficult like that. But the Crawdads looking for a victory tonight to advance to 17 and 15 in league. As the pitch is swung on and missed, the count 0-1. They would be in sole possession of second place if they do succeed here and pull out what looks like it should be a victory. Crenshaw at the plate, count even 1-1. This pitch on the inner half for a strike. And the count 1-2. So the remaining schedule for the Crawdads tomorrow at noon against the Stompers in Danville. The 1-2 pitch and swung on and missed as another strikeout for Colson Abel. Abel now with 3 strikeouts. But Sonoma tomorrow, then Healdsburg on Tuesday, August 2nd. For the Potters, they're going to be here tomorrow at 6:35 against the Mudcats. That's in Lincoln. And then hosting the Prune Packers on Monday, August 1st at 6:35 at McBean Stadium in Lincoln, as this pitch misses high and outside. The count 1-0 to Trey Furry.
So it's closed?
Yeah.
What'd you go up to?
Where the bidding stuff is.
I know. What'd you go up to? 55? Was that the highest one?
Pitch misses. The count 2-0. Oh, the pitching really good tonight for the Crawdads. Abel trying to put things to an end here, but he misses high. The count 3-0 to Furry. Fanning struck out 6. Devitt struck out 3. Abel now with 3 strikeouts. So the pitching staff in double digits with 12 total. The 3-0 pitch to Furry. That's a fastball that gets in on the hands. He just has to fight it off. The count 3-1. Fanning was about as close as you could get to perfect tonight without actually being perfect. He only went 5 innings, but just gave up 1 hit. 3-1 pitch, didn't give up any runs either, and Abel misses badly here, kind of stumbles off the mound after he threw that, off the rubber that is, and that's a walk of Furry. So with 2 down, and Crawdads in front by 10, 14-4. Furry, a base runner over at first. And here comes Nolan McCarthy. But Fanning just gave up 1 hit and only had to deal with 4 base runners his entire outing. McCarthy takes a big curveball that drops into the zone for strike number 1. The count 0-1. But definitely a good comeback start for Hollis here in Lincoln, as this misses low in the turf. Count 1-1. It'll be interesting tonight to see who the player of the game is. We'll have that for you on the social media accounts. The 1-1 pitch getting into this is McCarthy. It's as deep and far, and that ball is gone. A 2-run blast for Nolan McCarthy, his 7th home run of the year, and his 31st RBI with the 2 runs he gets there. And that was a monumental blast. McCarthy got all into that baseball. It is now 14-6. Well, there's something to cheer about for the Potters faithful, as Abel surrenders a big home run to McCarthy. Oh, here comes Paz. Crawdads still with a big lead, but even with 2 away, you don't want to give away too many runs here. Curveball misses low. The count 1-0. Really, the issue tonight for Lincoln was the starting pitching, as swung on and missed there. A pitch outside of the zone, but going after it was Paz. But the starter tonight, Dugan, just wasn't able to do what Hollis Fanning did in his start. Pitch here is hit foul on the ground. Dugan pitched 3 innings in his start. Gave up 9 hits, 8 runs, all earned. Crawdads hit the ground running. Pitch here misses in. And the count even at 2-2. Abel a strike away, getting the Crawdads a win tonight and giving them sole possession of 2nd place ahead of Lincoln. The 2-2, big curveball. Is that there? It's not. Just missing is Abel with the curveball. And the count runs full, 3-2. Wouldn't be surprised if Abel decides to go to that same pitch. See what he does. Here it is. There's a curveball, and it's hit foul. Count stays 3-2. We thought rain might come at 9 p.m. It's 9:24. No rain. Looks like the fireworks show is going to commence after the ball game. That is great news if you're here in Lincoln. Payoff pitch to Paz. Here it is, a fastball. It's hit hard on the ground over to third. Ellis up with it, throws to first, across the diamond. A good stretch from Duroff, and that's the ball game. The Crawdads win 14-6. They are now 17-15 in CCL North play, and they now have sole possession of 2nd place. They are 24-20 overall. They are able to win game 44 this season. The Potters at home, who have just been so dominant lately over the Crawdads, they fall to 32-21 overall, now an even 500 in CCL North play, 16-16. The winner, Hollis Fanning, he gets his 2nd victory of the season. He was able to go 5 innings of shutout ball, gave up a hit, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, faced 20. The loser is the starter on the other side for the Potters. That's Dugan, who was just able to go 3, gave up 9 hits, 8 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, faced 20. The Crawdads able to get a win. The winning streak now up at 4. They are hot once again. I think it's safe to say that. And they are really looking to make a hard push into the playoffs. Some big performances tonight for the Crawdads offensively. Ryan Ellis, who had 3 doubles, was tremendous. And you had Tyson Corio with a 2 RBI triple. I mean, Brian Duroff had a great night. But really, I think one of the bright spots was once again the bottom third of the order. Andrew McKenna with multiple hits, had 3 of them and a couple of RBIs. Jack Ben-Shoshan, who batted 9th tonight, had an RBI triple. So the lineup starting to get production out of all 9 spots, and that's exactly what you need to win in the postseason. You need production out of any spot you can in the order, and you also need good starting pitching and some guys to come out of the bullpen and really shut things down for you. The Crawdads got that tonight. They did give up 6 runs, but they scored 14. So 6 in that case, it's an 8-run win. The Crawdads have to be happy with that. They will play again tomorrow at 12 p.m. in Danville, California, the home finale for the Crawdads this season. Hope to see you there. That'll be against the Sonoma Stompers. The final line score, 14 runs, 17 hits, 2 errors for the Crawdads. The Potters, 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors. And the game is now final. The game started at 6:06. It was a 3-hour and 18-minute ball game, ended at 9:24. So the Crawdads victorious 14-6. And want to update you on what is happening elsewhere around the league. Still in play at Sinsheimer Park in the top of the 11th, the OC Riptide tied 4-all against the San Luis Obispo Blues. And in the bottom of the 9th, the Novato Knicks leading 13-4 in Sonoma against the Stompers. So that's what's happening around the CCL. Healdsburg earlier had a win, a 2-hour and 39-minute game, 14-3 against the Mudcats. But important, the Crawdads win 14-6 here in Lincoln. They have now split the season series with the Potters, 4 wins apiece for each ball club, and they are in sole possession of second place. I'm along to say, for everybody here in Lincoln, always love coming up here. Hope you have a good night, and we'll see you again tomorrow at high noon.